Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master this evening, this afternoon, this morning, wherever this finds you, whenever this finds you. We have players who are joining us from all over the place today to play a very special one-shot session of D&D 5th edition, something a little bit of a departure from my usual, set in the very cool steampunk and intrigue setting of Eberron. And we are running this session in support of the ongoing charity raffle that we're running on the channel. This is in support of Heroes Save Villages, the charity campaign that benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity. From now until September 1st, you have an opportunity to get raffle tickets for $25 Canadian each, which works out to about 18 bucks American, to win our grand prize or one of our other very cool prizes. The reason we're playing Eberron again is because the grand prize is a copy of Beadle and Grimm's Eberron Rising from the Last War Gold Edition box set. Now, this is my copy here that I picked up because I love it. But the copy that the grand prize winner of the raffle will be getting mailed to their house is still in the packaging that we received it from Beadle and Grimm. This is the second of these sessions that we're running, complete with brand new characters and brand new players as well too, for the most part. And this is to sort of try and draw attention to the very, very cool stuff you can do with the Eberron setting and with that box set. You can find a link to the Heroes Save Villages campaign and an opportunity to learn more about the campaign, learn more about SOS Children's Villages International, and to make donations to get tickets for yourself in the description of this video. But enough about that. Let's jump in and learn about our heroes that we're going to be seeing tonight. And when I say heroes, I'm using that term very, very loosely with this group of reprobates. So, first up, I have John. John, who are you playing tonight?
Hey everyone, I'm John. I'm playing Guinea Greenleaf. She's a halfling ranger with a checkered past who rides a fearsome pterodon who I've named Sharpclaw into battle, and we tend to pepper our enemies from the air with arrows.
Nice. And it's worth noting that your pet is a pteranodon, so you actually fly into battle to pepper them with arrows, so pretty awesome. Next up we have the man, the myth, the legend, Jason Hobbs.
Hey there, mateys. I'm playing Nordak Trollbeard, a dwarvish artillerist, artificer. And yeah, I do dwarvy artillery artificing things.
Nice. Next up, Dave, have you disappeared? So Dave's... Oh, he's stealthing.
He's put a mask on. He's drunk.
Next up is Dave. Dave, who are you playing today?
In character.
What? I'm playing Valkyrie. He's a monk. And
Valkyrie is a monk of the Drunken Master School. So, next up is Colin.
Hello, yeah, I'm playing Bad Bear. He's a shifter barbarian who earns his living as a highly energetic storyteller.
Nice.
While he can be as charming as any bard, it's best to keep your distance when he loses his temper and draws his paired longswords.
Nice. Next up is Mo.
Hi, I'm Morris. I'm playing Adrian Turani, who is a warlock.
Yeah.
Celestial warlock, so he has some sort of connection to the celestial power. I'm kind of assuming that's a generic power rather than an individual.
No, you have. We'll learn more about that.
Oh,
over
a
the
particular
course.
Celestial, right? Okay.
Yeah. You have a particular goddess, and and the other thing that is important about Adrian Turani is that he is actually a bearer of the Mark of Shadow, one of the dragon marks. That is a magical expression of sort of the draconic or the mysterious prophecy that seems to be unfolding over the aeons across the surface of Eberron. The Mark of Shadow, like many of the other dragon marks, grants the bearer some very special abilities that are unique to the mark. But it also means, because it is a recurring mark, it's part of a house. And the Mark of Shadow is unique in the sense that it is split between two different rival houses. The Turani and the Fearlon, I believe. If I had my DM screen out, I'd be able to say that. But they are... it is the legacy of a civil war between two dragon-marked houses. So, Adrian, you best be careful that you don't run afoul of any of the other bearers of the Mark of Shadow. Last but certainly not least is Arlen.
Hi, I'm Arlen. I'm playing Ubada Wildwalker, who is a druid who can shapeshift into a dinosaur. And that's really all I want to do is turn into a dinosaur and kill bad guys. And yeah.
So when we were talking about the potential of Eberron, the thing that really tweaked, we saw the sparkle come to Arlen's eyes that we don't see unless we talk about Arthurian myths, was when we brought up the ubiquity of dinosaurs in this setting, because Arlen's a big dino fan. So hopefully you enjoy tearing some enemies apart with this. So, guys, where our story opens, and our story is called today, is the Xen'driki Falcon. So our story opens in the filthy, cramped, and waterlogged streets of Stormreach. You can see the illustration that is on our screen here, guys. This is what Stormreach is. And Stormreach is the sole... you gotta love a guy who's slamming into character for a Sunday morning day drinking. Love that, Dave. So, speaking of which, we, what do you call it? We're not doing Inspiration the way it's written in 5th edition. We're going to do it the way we do always with our Astonishing Fortune. So you guys have 6 points of Astonishing Fortune, and what I'll allow is each of you, when you give a signature thing about your character, if you roleplay your character in a really engaging or appropriate way, that adds to the scene, prompts someone else's, performance or whatever. I say performance, but you know what I mean. We'll also give you a point of Astonishing Fortune, so you guys can, there's no, there's a cap of 12 in total, but you're starting off with 6, and once again, John is very graciously tracking our Astonishing Fortune for us. Thank you, John. And I think the reason I mention that is because I think Dave has already committed to the part well enough that you guys can actually start with 7 points of Astonishing Fortune. So,
Drink to that.
we had talked a bit before we went live. So let me tell you a little bit about Stormreach if you don't know it, just to get the ball rolling here. This continent on which Stormreach is set is the continent of Xen'driki. And Xen'driki is sort of the place where Eberron draws its inspiration, as opposed to D&D, which, has the, like, Liber and all the things we know from Appendix N. What Eberron adds into the mix is the pulp noir kind of stuff from, like, Maltese Falcon and The Third Man and Casablanca and stuff like that, and Sam Spade stories, and the sort of pulp adventure of, like, King Solomon's Mines and the matinee serials and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, that kind of stuff. And where Xen'driki is sort of the location where that sort of the unknown is located. There was once a giant civilization here of titanic power and of incredible magical knowledge, but some cataclysm, well before the rise of any of the other sentient races, annihilated Xen'driki, leaving it a magical ruin. And a ruin that actually will change over time as well, too. So if you go out and you find a secret location or you find a treasure or something like that, you will not be assured that it will be there next time. Not the treasure, the location, because the land may magically shift beneath you. In addition, because the main continent of Corvair has only 4 years ago come out of a 100-year war that left the continent dramatically changed, and all of its inhabitants changed as well. Stormreach also serves as kind of an outpost. This is the, like, Buenos Aires, or, like, the Nazis fleeing to whatever, war criminals and other reprobates, other people who may want to flee their pasts because it threatens their lives, find themselves washed up on the shores of Stormreach as well, too. So if you think of a mix of, like, Casablanca and, like, Tortuga and, what was the mercenary hiring port in Portugal? Madrid in the 60s. This is sort of what you can expect in Stormreach. None of you guys are native to Stormreach. None of you guys are native to Xen'driki. But in these streets, you can find opportunity, and people come back staggering out, wild-eyed, bushy beards and whatnot, having disappeared years ago with some mysterious treasure from Xen'driki. So it may not surprise you to learn that when you guys had a opportunity to steal a prize of Xen'driki, that this could be a game changer. Now, it's not an easy task, but what the task that you guys have before you is to pull off an air heist. One of the other dragon-marked houses is House Lyrindar, and House Lyrindar is the House of the Storm. They're most known beforehand for traveling the waves and so forth, but in the course of the last war, what they also constructed were, with the assistance of House Cannith, were these fabulous inventions. Here we go. Airships. Let me give you an illustration here, guys. Boom. That's what an airship looks like. Whoop. There you go. Ooh. It is the pinnacle of elemental Decanath technology combined with the natural magical power of House Lyrindar. The Mark of the Storm is required to operate an airship, but the fundamental principles behind it are the inventions of House Cannith. The Artificers, very much like what Nordak is. So what you're going to be doing, you know that there is an airship that is departing very shortly. The name of the airship is the Lazy Lady. And you know that on board there, or at least what you've been told, is that there is a Xen'driki artifact of priceless value. Something beyond the mere baubles that some people bring back or the little interesting things. We are talking about a once-in-a-lifetime haul. This is something that could dramatically change your lives. For those of you who enjoy each other's company, you could retire and comfortably live out the rest of your lives. For those of you who don't like your traveling companions, you'll never see these bastards again. So, where you are heading right now is to a notorious tavern known as the Wavecrest Tavern. The Wavecrest Tavern is located on the docks of Stormreach. And there's a couple things that the Wavecrest Tavern is known for. It is usually a first port of call for many sailors coming in. It's also a hive of intrigue for people exchanging information who want to learn things about what's, or hatch any kind of schemes. But perhaps the most important thing is the weekly arm wrestling competition. That, of course, is of interest to Bad Bear. So, what we see as we open our scene here is going through the rain-soaked streets of Stormreach. We can see a robed figure. The figure has a leather cloak pulled up against the elements. It's not unusual for weather to hit hard. And one of the things that we can tell that we're in Eberron is as this character walks by, we can see floating in the background a massive chunk of earth to which there are stringing ropes and platforms leading to it. Because Xen'driki is a very, very magical place. We also see moored in the harbor 2 Lyrindari skyships as well, or airships. This figure weaves his way through the tavern and then weaves his way through these streets and then gets to the Wavecrest Tavern. What we can see as it pans back overhead is this. At first, it looks like a bird, but as we look more closely, we can see it's a reptile that is swinging around. And even more unusually, we see crouched down against the elements, a leather cap on with goggles and a bow across her back is Ginny. So Ginny, you've been tracking this figure, making sure that nothing's following. We see you wing Sharp Claw to the side and you kind of go over. There's a kind of flash of lightning and you look down to where you know that your colleague will be waiting as well too. And lurking in the shadows, Yubanda, do you think you would be, or Yubada, do you think you would be in orc form or in some other form? We've given you the stats for some big creatures, but you can transform into any, you can use your wild shape to transform into really anything smaller as well.
Yeah, but I think I would stay in orc form just to kind of keep keep that as an option to, shift. Like, especially if I needed to lose somebody, I could shift from orc into like a rat or something and just sneak off.
Absolutely. You're also not able to cast spells when you're in wild shape form too, if that's your interest. So you, what we see is this massive orc woman kind of look up at Ginny. Ginny, you flash a light down at them. And Ubada, you see this figure walk across and then enter into the tavern. Your job is to keep watch. As the door opens to the tavern, Bad Bear, would you kindly give me a strength, or rather an athletics check with advantage?
Okay.
So you don't need to change anything on the sheet. It'll automatically roll 2 dice, and we just take the better of the two.
So where am I clicking to activate that?
I think it'll just be right next to your strength.
Just click just click the athletics word in your skill list.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah. I gotcha.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, we're just going to click once. So 14 is the better of the two. So what we see as the door opens is Bad Bear is sitting at this table. His arm is or his hand is locked with this Warforged's arm, and a Warforged is like kind of a magical robot. They were crafted by Kaustakaneth, granted souls, and sent out to fight during the last war. Bad Bear, we see you slam his hand to the table. What do you do in celebration?
I just jump up with my arms, and like play in the crowd, walking around. Who's next?
And the whole crowd is kind of like, all the ones that are watching are cheering. We also see sitting in, as this figure walks in, he's first distracted by the noisy shifter who has defeated and the crowd that seems to be supporting him. He looks across the crowd and he sees in the far corner there are two figures sitting. One looks like he's having a rough time, and there's a bunch of empty glasses in front of him. Dave, why don't you give us a quick description of what Vakri looks like?
Vakri looks like he's been in his cups for about 2 weeks, and the cups are the only thing that's really hurting right now because they're empty. But his hair's a bit of a mess. Got some drool that fell off his chin, and he wipes it on his shirt, and he's kind of, I don't know, just looks really bedraggled and rough and out of shape. But yeah.
Okay. And sitting next to him, seemingly enveloped or embraced by the shadows behind him, is Adrian Turani. And Mo, what do we see with Adrian? What's he doing?
He's sort of sitting back, observing the room. He's probably got a really high cloak, probably got the hood, the rain hood pulled up.
Yep.
So he's sitting there, people watching.
Okay.
Tempted to say he's pity he didn't go out and do a book on Bear to get a bit of extra cash, but he's just really checking out the room.
Okay.
Waiting for. I'm kind of assuming we're supposed to be meeting someone here, so he's just really keeping an eye out for that person and maybe anyone else who's paying attention.
Okay.
In an unusual way. I mean,
Sure.
not people that are looking at Bear.
Yeah.
He's just sitting at the back, sipping his drink.
So really, all we can see is like the glint of his eyes coming from the shadows as he's studying the crowd. Now, what about Nordak? Where do we think Nordak is going to be positioned in this pub? Is he placing bets on Bear, or is he on his own, or is he with Vakri and Adrian?
He's probably sitting with Vakri and Adrian. He's a fiery-haired dwarf with a bushy beard and a long mustache. Face kind of half covered in soot and the other half in droplets of oil, and he's smudged about all of his armor and cloak, and he's probably fiddling with some sort of apparatus on the table before him.
Okay. Yeah, it's a mess. There's tools everywhere as he's fiddling away with this thing. So this figure then sees Nordak and Vakri and quickly sort of makes his way over towards us. Bad Bear, you have been waiting for this to happen, so you knew that this was going to happen. I'm picturing that Ubada, Bad Bear, and Ginny, you guys are like Plan B. if things don't go the way that things are intended to go, and like you're about 50-50 on the plans going out the way that you intend them to go, you guys are there to help with the extraction because you guys are effectively the muscle. And so as this guy walks over, he says, looks over at the three of you and says, "Are you?" I hear that the clouds on the Talenta are thick. That is, of course, the code word or code phrase that your contact was supposed to deliver to you. He's delivered it in a way that tells you that this may be the first time he's had to do something like this. Why don't Nordak, Vakri, and Adrian, why don't you give me insight checks, please? Adrian, I'm going to grant you advantage on yours because you've been watching everything from the way that you came in here.
I've also got the... which one is it? I've got a thing where I can read lips and stuff for perception and intuition.
Well, he is speaking, so you... The need for that's not necessary. You're already getting advantage, so like you can't get more... In 5th edition, you can't really get more than just advantage, so...
Okay.
So just go ahead and click on the... Go to the skill list, just click on an insight and that one time, and that's it. Great job, Nordak. Wow.
Intimidation, invest. Oh, there we are.
Okay. And we'll take the best of the two that you roll here. 15. So Nordak and Adrian, we'll give each of you guys something that you notice here. So Nordak, or first Adrian, what you can notice is that this, obviously, this person doesn't carry themselves with a lot of confidence. They're probably not spending a lot of time hanging out at the Wave Crest. You also can tell that this person is half-elven. They are trying to conceal their features as much as they can, but they are definitely a half-elven person. The reason that's important is because the dragon marks themselves and the dragon mark houses only express themselves on specific races. There's one exception to that, but it's because it goes to both humans and half-orcs. But House Lyrindar is a half-elven house. Nordak, what you see is the distinctive blue color of a House Lyrindar tunic underneath there. Now, the Dragonmark houses have outposts here, both official and unofficial, and this guy is likely the person who put you in contact with this guy didn't tell you that this guy seems to be someone who works for House Lyrindar. Now, the reason that you guys want to talk to this guy, he's going to give you a key for when the lazy lady is departing, and he's going to give you some information about the schematics. Because, as we said in the secret messages too, Nordak, they want to make sure that you've got your hands on the schematics for the lazy lady. So he said, I
think it said that in there. Let me see it again.
No, it said that you wanted to do work.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's... Yep.
Right.
Okay.
I thought you were getting more specific on me, and I wasn't sure what it was.
Nope, I'm assuming that you're going to be able to imply certain things.
All right, yes, I will. Someday.
So, what do you guys respond with? And whatever you want. Oh, go ahead.
Nordak turns his hand, and he's working on a little thing, and it's actually like those chomping little teeth that move. It's like a little thing.
Yeah.
Starts to walk across, and as the guy looks down, he goes, "Arr! And the sun shines up a bum's ass every once in a while. What does that tell us? Have a seat, lad."
He kind of looks back and forth. He's waiting for a code phrase. That is not it. Adrian or Vakri?
Nordak looks around.
Yeah.
Well,
whatever you want the phrase to be, it will not be that. It also makes sense in fiction that Nordak would not be brought in on the scheming parts of this.
Okay, I'm going to walk over and sit at the table and sort of give him a look and say, what would be a sensible thing to say?
And the wind blows
I
gentle.
see the price of oranges is high this year.
Okay. He kind of looks back and forth and then sits down and says, "Do you have the payment?"
You have what we wanted.
And he puts down something, and it's like a paper envelope.
Arden's going to say, I think maybe we move to a... Because I think this table's out in the middle.
It's not unusual for... You guys are... No, the table, as I said, is in the corner.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry, yes. Oh, in that case, yeah.
Okay. So he does have there's an envelope, effectively, that he's got, and it's got something bigger in there, too, which is what you were looking for.
Yeah, it looks like you got most of what we were... You came to the table empty-handed, though. The cups are empty. Like, what? You've not done this before?
Look, do you have my payment or not?
Nordak reaches out greedily to examine the envelope, smudging it with oil.
It's got what you want in it too. You sort of fumble through, and there are some scrawled copies of the schematics of the Lazy Lady, and then there's also a stone, and the stone it's kind of like a compass mark on it, and it's got different sort of coordinates on the thing, and this is what you were looking for.
Yeah, we've got what you want. Get that envelope off the table. It's too obvious.
And Nordak stuffs it inside his jacket.
Gives Zachary a nod.
Zachary looks over to Adrian, gives him a nod, like, "Pay the man.
Okay.
Get him out of here."
Okay, I'll pull out the bag, the agreed payment, and sort of slide it across the table.
Okay, he snatches
There you
it,
go, man.
quite obviously, gets up, and kind of looks at the three of you, and then turns and kind of hurries out the door. Bear, Ginny, and Yubata. So Yubata, you would see this go out. Bear, what do you do once you see him gone? You've got a new challenger coming up towards you too. He's a big, thick dwarf sailor from the what do you call it? From Kundarak.
Out the corner of my eye, do I see the deal going off? Do I?
Definitely.
Okay. And I don't see anybody else paying attention to our friend leaving.
No one else seems to be. Oh, give me an insight check. Actually, let's see here.
Okay.
See if you can read anyone else's specific insight or perception. I'm fine with either, whichever one.
Is everybody inside? Is everybody inside?
Ginny is flying overhead, doing kind of aerial surveillance and keeping watch with Yubata.
Okay.
Dave's drunk and doesn't remember that part.
It's all a blur to me. 11. You can't tell any. Yeah, as far as you can tell, no one else is. No one else is trying to follow that guy. No one else has gotten up to leave, anything like that.
So I'm sort of fairly happy that it's gone down okay, and we don't need to be worrying too much about Plan B at this point.
No, looks okay.
Then more arm wrestling. Bring them on.
So
I'm going to try and get the crowd doing a clap.
Yeah, give us a performance check. Let's see how much distraction you can get going here.
Okay.
I'll give you advantage because you have won the 17. Oh my god. So yeah, the whole crowd is just cheering along with you. Even the people who are trying to pay attention, they're unconsciously kind of hitting their cups on this. And what this means, Adrian, Vakri, and Nordak, you could be on fire and walking out and no one would pay attention to you.
I'm going to establish a mind link with Bear.
Okay.
And so Bear, you hear telepathically Vakri's voice in your head, and he's like, "You think you can take this dwarf without any additional help?"
Of course. I don't know if can I communicate back telepathically?
Yep.
Yeah, you have we have a link right now.
We have got a link. I'll just laugh back. I'll just like.
Okay. So do I know if that? I don't know. I'm gonna. I'm gonna get. Bear's always overconfident, so I'm going to help hedge the bets. I tell Adrian it's okay to bet on Bear this time, and I'm gonna go get up to get a drink. And I'll wait for them to start arm wrestling, and I'll accidentally bump into somebody who's behind his opponent, and give the guy a bit of a push so that he pushes me back, or something to that effect. And I accidentally spill my ale on Bear's opponent right in the middle of the arm wrestle.
Okay. So then, what don't we? What I'll do is for this guy, Bear, give us another athletics check. We'll give you advantage because of the spilled drink, and then Vakri, why don't you give us a stealth check to see if anyone notices you cheating? Nat 20.
I was thinking it would be more of a performance thing because I'm acting like more drunk than I am.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, sure. Yeah. I buy that. Yep. 19. Yeah. Whoa! What the? And then slam his hand into the table. Ah!
Nap.
Okay.
After heads back to the table, a little less drink in his cup than he wanted, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Bear can buy me around later.
With the winnings.
Mm-hmm. Yubata, any thoughts?
So has our buddy is exiting, and
You see him go, yeah, and he's making his way back down. In retrospect, he seems to be making his way in the direction of where the dragon-marked houses are located.
Yeah, but he made his money fair and square, so you know.
And you guys can, let's say, you guys will earn 10 GP from the bets that were placed on that.
So like this is pretty run down part of town, right? I'm imagining.
It's the docks, so I mean, it's not so much run down as it's not well maintained. Yeah.
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 The
The Wavecrest Tavern is very much a dive bar of dive bars. Like,
yeah. So
It's
I'm
not,
gonna.
It's not like the. I was going to say, if you go to Spice Island in Plymouth, there's a pub right on the docks that all the captains used to go in. So
yeah, this is not the captain's one. This is where the sailors would have gone. Yeah. So what do you think about it?
I'm gonna use my animal messenger. Try to see if I can find see like a bird that's roosting up in one of the
yeah, there's a pigeon that's
raptors
picking at some trash in the alleyway.
Yeah, something like that. And I'm gonna send it flying up to Ginny and say, you might get close where it looks like we're gonna have trouble with Adrian's company. I'm not gonna warn Adrian because why would I do that? And then I'll sort of, once I see that the bird is kind of flown up there and is passing on my message, I'll sort of gesture in the direction of some shifty-looking customers that I'm seeing.
Yeah. Why don't you give me a Ginny, a perception at disadvantage, please. Okay, so an 11. So you're looking down to try and figure out. I mean, Yubata didn't tell you what the trouble was, but looking down, you can't see what she's talking about. But I mean, she's not wrong. You know, you've never known Yubata to be wrong about that stuff. Why are they taking so long? You're also soaked to the bone up here as well, too.
Well, it's nothing I'm not used to, I suppose.
Yeah, fair enough.
So just pull back on Sharp Claw and start making our way, circling down to get back to the tavern.
Okay.
I think I would have him on the roof or something.
You could land on the roof, yeah, absolutely. Okay. The rest of you guys inside, do you think there's a message you guys are passing to each other when it's time to leave? You're not staying at the tavern, you're staying elsewhere, but you need to get yourself, now that you've got this info, you're ready to meet up with your next contacts.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's going to need to make it super clear to Bear that we're leaving because he's here for the duration. Otherwise.
I love it. What is the strategy that is employed to get Bear to leave? It's time to leave.
Well, I think it's probably Ubata might start to head inside, and then the idea is that she's gonna arm wrestle Bear, and that's the sign that whoever wins, that's gonna be the last arm wrestle of the night between our party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
we've probably got a little performance to drag it out a little bit longer. And
Yep. The back and forth between the big orc druid and the big barbarian.
Okay. So the door opens and to the Wavecrest Tavern, and what you see filling the door frame is this enormous, perhaps the biggest orc woman you've ever seen. And is Yubata a one for what do you call it, for trying to make an entrance here, or because if she is, she could pause and then the lightning could crash behind her and then she could make her way in?
I think she's yeah, I think probably makes a real entrance, kind of let everybody know that she's around.
Okay. So she walks up to the what you guys, I'll leave it to you guys. Why don't Colin and Arlen tell us what happens to how does this play out, and what do the rest of you guys do while this is going on?
I'll do a mock gentlemanly bow, like with a flourish as she comes along and pull the chair out for her to sit down. After you, madam, please take a seat. Glad you could join me.
So she sort of walks up and just kind of it's sort of like a smirk around the tusks, you know. It looks pretty feral with those you know, nasty teeth and all that sort of stuff, and sits down and kind of puts out her arm to wrestle Bear.
And her hand and arm are easily as big as what Bad Bear is, maybe even a little stockier.
If
But
we
what do we
break
see
another
next?
table, everyone's going to see us leaving.
So what happens next, guys?
Yeah, that kid was green.
The betting is fast and furious, incidentally, with this right
Yeah,
now.
I think everybody in our party knows better than to bet on this, because it is not necessarily always going one way or the other, by which I mean that Bear and Yubata have a bit of a rivalry about who gets to be the winner and who has to suck it up, and that sometimes it gets, you know, into a real arm wrestling match more than a match for show. So it seems like we probably ought to both roll athletics and see who.
How about we inter-party bet going on here? I'm betting on Ubata.
Okay, so Ginny has actually made her way in here, soaking wet, and you know, you guys are both know not to bet, but Ginny's come up and slam down some money on the table. What are Nordak, Vakri, and Adrian doing at this point?
Seems like we're having a conversation at the table.
Okay, good.
I don't know if you can see in the roll 20.
Oh, great.
there.
Okay, perfect. Now, I wanted to check one thing here, too, because there may be an opportunity to talk about a mechanic thing here. Because I think Bad Bear, you have... Oh, it adds to your hit points. Yeah. I couldn't remember what kind of shifter. There's certain shifter, subspecies that can gain bonus of strength, but yours is tough.
Yeah.
All right, so what happens?
Hopefully, I won't be in that.
Why don't we do this? So on a count of 3, is anyone letting anyone else win? If so, then you'll roll at disadvantage. And I'll let you guys... I think I know what Yubata's doing, but it's a question of whether Bad Bear is letting Yubata win or not. Or is he going to try?
So Yubata is actually going to throw the arm wrestling match, because she's got an idea. She's trying to position herself so that she could grab a mug from like the table behind her or something and throw it at Bear and start a bar fight with the guys that are looking pretty shifty.
Okay. All right.
Vakri leans into Nordak and goes, "I think it's time for us to leave. You know, I don't want to be trying to leave after, and I don't want to be paying for any furniture."
Okay. So Nordak, your tools are spread across the table, and you're grabbing one thing and another thing and jamming it into pockets that only you know what they contain. Adrian, are you making what are you doing to trying to achieve the action? Because you can see as the whole crowd is focused right now on Bad Bear and Yubata sitting down. And Ginny, what are you doing to ratchet up the crowd here?
She's more focused on drying off than anything else, but she's just rubbing her hands and going near the fire and then looking over and just like, I'm not leaving until I'm dry. You guys do what you're doing.
Okay. So then, guys, it sounds like Yubata is trying to throw the match. Bear, are you just trying to win it?
Yeah, I mean, I think Yubata would be disappointed if I was to do less than my best.
Okay.
She got offended last time I went soft on her, so
Okay.
I've learned my lesson.
So here's what I need is, Yubata, I need you to give me a performance check, please.
All right.
An 11. Okay. So I think that what happens is you guys lock hands, and then there's the countdown 1, 2, go, and then Bear. Oh, what do we see? Does Yubata immediately let the hand go down, or?
No, there's definitely a fair bit of back and forth and that classic struggle, and then we see Yubata kind of makes a grimace and lets it go down, and then loses kind of the last little bit and slams the fist in the table and all that.
Okay. So Ginny, you're standing on the outskirts of this, and the whole crowd's like, oh, and then one guy's like, wait a minute. He's going to say that she's cheated.
I'm gonna grab a nearby mug and clip him in the back of the head before he says anything.
Go ahead. Make an attack. I'll give you advantage on it because he has no idea this is coming. And this will be non-lethal, and I'll let you apply your sneak attack damage too.
Do I just roll 2d20s then?
No. Just roll one of your weapons. Not something that's got a bonus to hit.
My short sword then.
Sure. Let's see. Yeah, 11's good enough to hit, and then so it's 6. Oh, it's probably a little more than what my thing would do. You only roll 2, so that's good enough. What is your sneak attack damage?
It's I think it's a d6.
Okay.
No, I'm level 4, right?
Yeah.
2d6.
Okay. Go ahead and roll 2d6. Actually, you should be able to click on the ability.
Oh. Sneak attack. Oh no, wait, I'm a ranger. I don't have.
Oh yeah, you don't. Sorry, I don't mind. I thought you were a thief. All right, so you whack this guy in the back of the head. Oh, things look like they're going to be kicking off. Yubata, I believe you had something you wanted to do as well.
Yeah, so I kind of flash a wink at Bear that hopefully nobody else sees. Reach back, grab a mug, and I'm expecting Bear to duck because I'm going to throw it right past his head and try to hit one of the guys that was one of those shifty looking elves that I'm worried about.
Yep. So, okay, the elves actually aren't in here; they're outside. But what you hit is that dwarf. The last one he hit, he's kind of like rubbing his hand, and looks up in time to Clark right in the head, and he knocks back. This kicks off the crowd's all going crazy. Nordak, Vakri, and Adrian, what are you guys doing? This is sort of the standard operating procedure for Bad Bear and Yubata. So this is your distraction. What do you take advantage of it to do?
Nordak heads towards the door, pauses a second, runs back and grabs his mug, and then heads out.
That's okay.
And his gun. So.
Yeah.
I've never met a mug that couldn't finish. So Vakri slams his back and leaves it laying on the table sideways, and then just kind of darts in and around people. And then anytime someone goes to hit him, it's like, dodging everything, and then just gets his way to the door. Like,
awesome. Okay, what about Adrian?
I'm going to assume that maybe there was the betting was going on, and I'm going to see if I can slide anyone's, if there was sort of like they had the sort of bets on the table. I'll just sort of quietly into a suitable pocket in the robe, and then just sort of
it's going to be tricky.
Walk out if nothing's happening.
It's going to be tricky to pull off, but I will give you advantage because of the chaos of the fight going on. The only person who might notice it might be Ginny. So, why don't Ginny, you give us perception at disadvantage, and Adrian give us sleight of hand at advantage.
Yeah.
Sleight of hand is a skill, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 6. Oh my god! So once again, Ginny sort of like pushes her way through the crowd. All right. Gets up there. What the fuck? And then the camera sees Adrian carefully making his way away.
Yeah,
All right.
basically, he's sort of walking like, oh, he's just nothing to do with me, and walking outside. I assume we'd got a pre-arranged place we were going to meet after.
Yeah. Well, you guys, so Nordak, it sounds like, is the first one out, followed by Vakri, followed by Adrian. Why don't you guys tell us, what do we, in the order you want, Ginny, Bear, and Yubata, what do we see you guys coming out of this tavern? And there is a great big glass window out front if you want to take advantage of that.
Well, what Bear wants to do is he wants to, where you know the dwarf guy who's been hit with a couple of mugs.
Yep.
Just as he's sort of recovering, I want to pick him up and like slam him onto the bar and do the thing where you slide him along the bar, right along the bar, and then out through the window.
Yeah. Okay, so we see outside. We see you pick him up and he slam him down. Well, no! And the door, the thing outside, rain's pouring down in the street. We see this sort of like lattice work window out front of the wave crest, and then smash, this dwarf comes flying out of it, followed
And
by
just before that, just before the window breaks, like Vakri looks over and then casually just kind of guides Nordak away from the window for a couple seconds, and then
what about Yubata and Ginny?
Jenny's gonna take advantage of her small stature and just duck, dog, and weave between the people's legs and just put her clothes on straight as she's walking out the door and dust herself off.
Okay. And Yubata, what's the exit she makes?
Yubata's just kind of like in the midst of the chaos and, diving and giving punches and maybe taking a couple, but, it's nothing serious. And at one point she kind of grabs one of these
If I can
guys.
interject. So I think what happens, one of them, one person kind of like is in a fight, you bump into him behind, turns around, he hits you, and you just look down at him and he's like, no.
Yeah, so then I sort of reach down and, kind of MMA style, like a takedown, except I'm going through the door and go out the door and then just sort of drop him on the ground and kind of step over him and keep going.
Okay. Yeah. So our heroes are out in the same thing. You guys are all looking around at each other. You're ready to go. Ginny, do you call Sharp Claw?
Yeah, she'll give just a sharp whistle for him to follow. Yeah.
Okay. So then, where you guys are headed next is the docks. You've got a ship waiting for you. So you guys all head down, and we see you guys making your way down towards the docks, and we can hear the chaos in the Wavecrest Tavern as you guys walk away. So, anyone who has not got a point of astonishing fortune yet for the role playing, everyone else gets them. So you guys have 12 points of astonishing fortune. Great job, everybody.
I was just going to say to the one side, I should have cast Disguise Self before I went in there.
Maybe, what you can add post hoc is, as you're walking away from the table, when Ginny's like, where the hell did the money go? We see your face shift into something different.
Yeah, that would actually work better, because it was like that. And I was thinking also with the dwarf throwing, the camera probably pans up and there's a sign saying, no dwarf throwing.
Yeah. All right. So, guys, our scene...
By law, 67C, para 3.
So while we're walking, Yubata is actually going to let Adrian know that there were some shifty-looking, around elves. Watch yourselves.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
shifty-looking guys.
So he gives her a bit of a look. He is an elf.
Yeah.
No. So what Yubata's likely referring to is that, remember, there is a rival house to House Turani.
Right. So did he see any of the house beginning with P?
It is the Firlan. It is the Mark of the Shadow.
Firlan, yes.
So it's very unlikely that they would see it. They're sort of like...
Really,
Yeah. So our scene cuts, guys, to a beautiful tropical cove along the side of a vast jungle. And in the middle of this cove, there is moored a really, if you think of kind of like a mix between like a pirate-style galleon and like a Chinese junk, that's what you'd see on here too. But crawling all over this thing are a bunch of flying lizards, like flying dinosaurs. And these things are all kind of flitting around, and we can see Sharpclaw there now clear in in the light of this beautiful sun shining down on it. And he kind of seems to be the boss of the flying reptiles here. But then when the camera pans down, and we can see on the deck there are a bunch of tattooed or war-painted halflings kind of making their way around all over this ship. And onto the deck walk our heroes. And you guys have been here for about 2 days. You guys can fill in, introduce us to how your characters are entering the scene here.
Is this a flashback or
This is a couple days afterwards.
Oh,
What were we supposed to be doing with this? Are these the things for the Falcon that we're stealing or robbing? Or
This
what?
is the plan for the ship that we have.
This is
Yeah.
part of your plan.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm assuming Nordak is going to be going over them. He might be kind of a. Is there a cave here or like a building at all or
Nope.
a ship
There's going to be a captain's quarters, and we can start. The camera could go down inside the junk, and we can see you with all the schematics spread before you, talking to our.
Exactly. That's what I was expecting. Schematics, and it probably has like a thing that can shine light on things. Just like a magically infused little flashlight that's flipping around with a pointer, maybe as he's talking. He'll show what he's talking about.
Those kind of like the lights, the spotlights you can kind of have at like CSI has that shit all the time where it kind of goes over. So imagine that, but it floats in the air, so you can kind of like reposition it and then work underneath it.
Like it's levitating, but I just push it where it goes.
Yeah. Okay, so you're. Why don't you give me Nordak what's the thing here I want? I think it's you can give me a check with your tools. No, give me an Arcana check, please. Okay, amazing. So here's the good news: is that this is a fairly the Lazy Lady is a fairly typically built thing, but there seems to be something. There's a weird modification in there. And what it is the way that the airships are powered is by a captured elemental that powers that massive flaming ring that drives the airship through the through the skies. But this thing has some kind of it looks like it's a shunting mechanism that seems to allow something else to happen. It allows it to bleed off power to something different. Like as if you were tapping in. Imagine if you were like running lines to an engine to draw off power to many different sources. What that's going to do, you don't know, but it seems like it's something you haven't seen before. With a roll that good, though, you're pretty confident that it wouldn't take you long to shut it down. The old saying, like, the more complicated things get, the easier they are to fuck up. It's very true for this. But it's something to consider for your heist. You guys are currently waiting for two things. You're waiting for news, because you can see sitting on the table, there is that stone circle. And what you're waiting for is the center of the circle to light up. That means that the ring is taking flight. And then the little things around there, the quadrants, that will tell you the direction. Now, obviously, this junk is not going to be able to catch up with that, but the second thing you're waiting for is your ride. So, we open up with Nordak looking over these things. Who else is in this scene? Who else is in the planning kind of scene here?
yeah, I think I'd be.
Go ahead, Mo.
Yeah, Arden's going to be there. I'm kind of assuming is there like an equivalent of Bradshaw's for the various routes the ships run?
I don't know what that.
Sorry, Bradshaw's is its thing in Sherlock Holmes. It basically had the timetables for all of Europe. For the trains.
So this is a little more for some of the for things like the House Orion trains. Yes, there would be something like that. For this is more like Stormreach is recognized by all nations, but it isn't claimed by any. So it kind of is always going to be At least for there may be ships that run regularly back and forth, but an airship is always going to be it's going to be a charter, custom charter. So that's why you have to rely on this notification for when it's actually going.
Okay, in that case, he's going to be leafing through a big book, but you can see it says, Kirsten's Guide to the Sky Ships of. It's basically like a big equivalent of Jane's. He's just reading the entry for the particular ship we think we're going to go, and comparing that to the more detailed schematics.
And it's actually published by Zelargo Press as well, because they have a very active publishing platform. Dave, sounds like Vakrie's there as well?
Yeah, so Vakrie is sitting on the other side of the table in the captain's quarters with his feet up on the corner of the desk and a cup. Sorry, he has a cup, and it's like, so Nordak, did you find us a way on board? Or what have you learned?
Hey, you know as well as anyone, that's not my job. I'll take care of the mechanicals. You do the rest.
Yeah, but I was hoping you'd have a little extra something from those plans. That's why we paid for them.
So
I have no idea what the plan is.
I guess what
I don't know the plan either, so I'm just making it up as I go along.
What your concern obviously is where does that power go to? What's it powering?
Yeah,
I would let them know that. I would be like, it's got a little bit of a modification, if you know what I mean. But I don't know what it does. But it wouldn't take me long if I had my hands and my tools there.
So in the course of the last war, especially in the latter years, the forges of House Cannith definitely churned out some pretty horrific weapons of war. For those who aren't familiar with Eberron, the last war only ended because of this tragic event called the Mourning, where basically one of the 5 nations was completely consumed by some kind of magical cataclysm from one border to another. Completely killed to the last man, woman, child, animal, everything. No one knows what caused the Mourning. No one's claimed responsibility for it and whatnot, but some have suggested that House Cannith may have been behind that, because House Cannith was situated in the capital of Seir at the time of the Mourning. But it's just the mind reels at the possibilities of what the raw, unfettered power of an elemental could be used for war purposes. Is anyone else in there? What about if Yubata, Big Bear, or Bad Bear, and Ginny aren't there? Where are you guys? Where do we see you guys?
Well, I was actually going to go there because Bad Bear's been wondering. Yeah, he never gets let in on the plans till the last minute, and he's thinking, it's about time I figured this out, and I know Nordak's got some drawings. I'm gonna go and pester him. So he's headed down, and he's like, kind of creeps in whilst they're chatting, and he's leaning over annoyingly in Nordak's space kind of thing, and pointing at the drawing. What does that do?
Head bouncing off the light.
What does that bit do? What does that bit do? And then every time he answers him, he just knowingly, I see, yeah. What'd you say that was again? And then when he's not doing that, he'll just tap on the bench annoyingly and distractingly.
What about Yubata and Ginny?
Ginny's going to be hanging around Sharpclaw and all the little flying reptiles, and just tossing little scraps to them, watching them snap out of the air. And she's like, she's talking to herself out loud and saying, this is the best thing that ever happened to me. After that thing with the gnomes and everything, and once I have so much money, I'm gonna buy my own airship. I'm gonna have an army of pterodons, and I'm gonna be a famous sky pirate.
Nice. All the why don't you give me a let's see here. Give me a what is it? Persuasion, diplomacy? I can't remember what it's called in this edition.
Depends on what if you're lying, then it's deception.
Not deception. No. I think I just want to see how persuasion. Give me a rough idea. Let's see how charming Ginny is.
Not that charming.
Yeah. So she punctuates it with, and I'm going to get a crew a lot better than you bunch.
Yeah.
Tosses it up. So the halflings, she's not making friends amongst the halflings, but they seem to be putting up, we see like a long look between the two of them of like, you definitely, all these animals are responding incredibly to you. What about Yubata? What's Yubata been up to?
So I think that's the point. We see Yubata, who has been kind of walking through the crew, comes up and just sort of next to Ginny and just does a little, maybe keep that quiet, keep your plans to yourself, and then joins in tossing some scraps to the pterosaurs.
And Ginny can't keep quiet. She says, "So what you gonna spend your money on, Yubata?"
So as you guys are doing this, we cut back downstairs, and Nordak, after the third time of being bumped into this, or third time we've seen at least of you being bumped into this, how's he taken the? Because Bad Bears is easily twice his height, so because shifters are particularly big. I guess maybe at the point where we see that Nordak may be on the cusp of losing his temper, the light comes on the stone.
You're lucky. Grabs his light and sticks it in his pocket. It's time.
Okay.
Get the other.
So you guys all come up on deck, and Yubata and Ginny, you're still tossing stuff to the pterosaurs, and you look back at I think Vakri, it's probably you who was the point of contact here. You get back and you look back at the captain, and he says to you in Halfling, "Now,
Make it happen."
So he walks over to this enormous like horn that we really hadn't seen before. And it takes two other halflings to pick this thing up, mounts it on the side of the junk. This thing looks like it's carved from some enormous piece of horn or bone or something. And the two halfling have to kind of prop up the one end of it. The other halfling gets to the very end, and he kind of blows this thing, and it just woo. We can see birds all in the jungle all fly up from the air, and we first see a bunch of we hear it, I guess, first. This kind of and Sharp Claw kind of his head turns to the side, as do all the little ones, and what you see come soaring over the side, mounted on these pterosaurs, are a bunch of halflings mounted on pterosaurs. All come swooping down. There's a group of about 10 of them that all come down, and then aloft on different sides of the boat. And you all kind of look at this stuff, and the thing that Yubata and Bad Bear think that, Adrian and Vakri and Nordak, like, maybe they could wedge themselves onto those things. Vakri probably no difficulty. But there's no fucking way you guys are going to fit on these things.
So got like a trio or a foursome that have like ropes or something. Like, how are we going to get these guys off the ground?
If you look back, the halfling captain is standing there kind of like smug, like, huh?
Oh, you fucking smug bastard. Where's that goddamn ride?
He looks at you and says in accented common, "Wait." And as you guys are waiting, you hear the sound of the largest roar you've ever heard in your life, to the point where it rumbles the ship. Roar! And you all sort of look over, and you can see birds are flying overhead, trying to get away from something. And you're all standing there looking up. And up. And a shadow falls over the ship. And our scene cuts again.
Ginny can't help but just grin up at the sky. He's like, "This is going to be fun."
Nice.
Have to get that fearless thing going on.
Ginny's obviously going to ride on her thing. I think that Adrian and Vakri and Nordak, you have the choice of traveling on a pterodon of your own, or on traveling on something bigger. So you tell me which that you want to travel on.
Bigger.
Bigger
Just
for
like
Nordic.
cup,
Bigger, I think.
Okay.
just like the cups, bigger is better.
So the downside is you guys are all on one. You will not have the maneuverability of a traveling on a pterodon of your own.
I plan on setting up a cannon.
Just as
in
well,
case we
because I
need it.
don't have fly.
Yeah. So the pterodon, you don't need to worry about any skills or anything like that. You guys, if you are choosing an individual pterodon, you will be able to operate the thing. If
Really?
not,
We have to like fly it on our own as opposed to having a halfling do it for us.
no, yeah, it's yours. You guys, these things are very, they're
hell
tame.
then I'm gonna. Zachary's gonna take his own then.
Okay. So Ginny's got.
Okay. If we don't have to worry about shells, yeah, I'll take one.
Nope. Okay.
Because the way Ginny's talked about this, it's the best thing since. Wow.
Well,
Talks
there's
about
a
it about a lot of
there's a
things.
difference between
Way
tame
bread.
and sophisticated.
Okay. So you guys, so it's here. We've got Ginny and Zachary and Adrian on pterodons. Nordak, you're going to be on the bigger thing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me just get you guys your tokens over here. And what I'll do is actually let me get things set up here. Now, what you guys are the plan is you expect to deal with some kind of aerial resistance. House Lyrindar, regardless of whatever kind it is that they take, there are always going to be something along with it, be it hippogriff, cavalry, or harpies, or things with this fly spell. The ships themselves also are equipped with defenses. So maybe while I'm getting this thing set up, you guys can think about what, broadly speaking, each of you, sort of what your role is here. And definitely feel free to take advantage of the three-dimensional aspect of this. If you guys want to come from underneath the ship, that definitely takes some of their weaponry out of the equation. But go ahead, guys. What are you thinking?
We want to attack out the sun, don't we?
I'll be
Yeah,
the artillery.
you know, coming from below, you don't have the potential energy to use on. Coming from above, you dive on them.
Yeah, and also if it goes wrong, you can zoom and boom and sort of climb up out of the way for another go. Yeah, I think we're probably going to set it up so that we're coming from higher up out of the sun.
Okay.
Ideally, if we can get some clouds and then just, I assume we're just going to land on and.
Do we get flight of the bumblebees
We've
as
gone
our
through the
contract?
schematics, so we know where the storeroom is.
Yes.
I'm just trying to think. Can we just flash back to the planning phase? So, is the storeroom, have we got anything that can like blow through it? Looking at the
Good
arc.
question. So what you guys are equipped with is, give me 1D. There was something interesting I read in Exploring Eberron from Keith Baker, the creator of Eberron. Why don't you guys give me a 1D6 roll? 2. Nice. Nordak, this is you who has this. As I said, the craftspeople of and the mage rights of House Cannith were very active in the latter days of the war. One of the things that they crafted as well was something called a blast disc. And do you want to take any guesses as to what the blast disc does? You have 4 of these, Nordak. And what they are is you can set them to go off in time, in proximity, or impact. So you can toss them like they're little picture like hockey pucks. You can toss them to go off on impact to blow up after someone gets close to them, or you can set a time for when they go off. When they blow up,
Thermal detonator.
exactly. Yeah. He's got a thermal detonator. You can. It's a DC 13 save, but it does 2d10 damage on a failed save and half as much on another one. So it does have that. But this is out over open water between Xen'driki and Corvair. So if you crash the ship, you better learn to speak Shawagan and hope that they'll give up, whatever is riches are in the hold are recoverable. Now, let's see here. Okay, Yubata.
Take out the weapons, leave the ship intact.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking more as if we fight. Presumably this is this object's high value, so it's probably in some sort of safe somewhere.
In the cargo hold. Let me share another illustration with
All
you
right,
guys.
yeah.
Prepare that.
Yeah, hold on. I can. I got another handout, which is actually schematics of the typical airship.
I'll nudge old Nordak. I'll nudge him a little bit harder than I realise. A friendly nudge and go, and don't worry, Nordak, I'll keep you alive, little buddy, and tousle his hair because I know he don't like it.
Guys,
Pat
Just
him on
like,
the head.
just like last fucking time, Bear.
so there's the schematics, guys, of sort of where to expect what things in a in your typical skyship or airship. Supply hold is number 2, so it's right at the back there. And what you're expecting, this is it's known as the Xen'driki Falcon, and the Xen'driki Falcon is supposed to be some kind of enormous. It's something to do with the sky. It's legends say that it's got some kind of effect on the sky. What that means, who knows? What it's supposed to be is of incredible value, and this is something like not only for collectors or for just crazed rich dwarves who may want to collect it. They research what do you call it? Like academic institutions might be interested in studying this thing. Museums would love to have this thing. There's cults that may want to have this thing. So there's no shortage of people who may want to buy this thing. The one thing you don't know is who's got it. That is one thing that you could not make out. So here we go. Bad Bear. All right, guys. So. What is the plan for the sort of the plan of attack here?
Well, presumably, when I looked up the ship, has it got a listing of what it's armed with?
If each ship is different, so you cannot, and there isn't you're able to get some general information from your book, but each of these things is a custom built thing. So
all right, so it's I was thinking it was more like Jane's.
No, they're not pre-made like that. Each thing would be individual and separate or unique.
I think we want to board it as quick as we can. So if you got to disable some, ballista or something like that, get past the aerial defenses, we want to get on board and get what we need.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get my. Presumably, these things can be trained to come on call. So my idea is to land.
Are you trained in animal handling?
No.
Okay, so yes, they are. Their willingness to listen to you is going to be subject to that. Fortunately, you've got Ginny and Yubata are incredibly well trained, are incredibly good at that kind of stuff. So,
well, effectively, I think we're going to try and dive in, trying to avoid any arcs of any weapons.
Okay.
Obviously, when we get closer, we'll see are there any blind spots.
Yep.
Just looking at that, you could come in from behind and land under the forecastle, which would put you underneath the arc of the ballista a bit.
Okay.
I think the thing is dive in, land as quickly as possible, and disable the weapons.
Are we going to attempt?
That's assuming we don't have any. They don't have any escorts, because we might have to fight the escorts first. But
I think they have got escorts.
All right, yeah. Well, do we want to split up and have some of us fight the escorts, and maybe a couple of us land and start trying to find this thing?
I think we dispatch the escorts, then land together as a group.
Okay. Works for me.
And are we going to try and take control of the bridge at all?
Well, that's the other option, is we could, just take over the ship and just fly it somewhere and... Could we sell it?
We figure out that when we get on the ship and we determine how strong the force is.
Okay.
So that would be an ideal plan B, is take over the ship. Otherwise, just grab the stuff and run for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So let's get to. Actually, we're perfectly at our halfway point. So why don't we do this, guys? We will I'm moving some stuff to the GM layer here to get things set up. We'll take our break, and then we will start our heist for the Xen'driki Falcon. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes here, folks. We'll take a 5-minute break here, refresh our beverages, and then you guys will come back and see if you can't steal you some riches. So back momentarily. Go. Yeah, okay. All right. Just checking with Chad. What is shaking? Brian, what's going on? We got all party members in chat today. Nice. All right. Actually, while I'm doing that, I'm going to grab my monster cards I need. I so rarely get a chance to use these things.
Hey, Kev, for Sharp Claw, did you add anything to the companion or just pull the stats?
Just pull the stats. So if you've got anything that comes from your Beastmaster ability, you can make those adjustments.
I will do that.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking, if we're doing this combat, what are the simple missile weapons in 5th?
Simple missile weapons would be, I think the light crossbow was one. Javelin. Let's see here.
Attack rolls, damage rolls.
If you need to add something to your sheet, I can do that for you. It's a nice thing about the character builder in Roll20 is if you got the compendium, it's a drag and drop feature to it. Simple range weapons: crossbow, light, dart, short bow, or sling.
Yeah, if we stick a light crossbow in, Because I don't really have any ranged weapons. I've just got short sword and.
You have Eldritch Blast.
Oh, that's not limited in terms of what I can do.
Cantrips can be cast as many times as you like.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I can't remember the range of Eldritch Blast, but the running joke about
oh, yeah.
you know
waste.
warlocks in 5th edition is that they have a go-to line of like 2. 120 feet for Eldritch Blast.
I'm assuming the wind speed up here is going to be more than 10 miles per hour, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And I need...
4 times, okay.
Okay.
Hit points are higher.
All right. We all back? Oh, we're waiting for Dave. Okay. Alrighty. I got my monsters.
Okay, yep. Pterodon's updated.
Okay. I'll do it while I'm waiting for Dave to get settled in again.
So while this is an actual bottle of bourbon, I only touched it to my lips bare a couple times. And I'm not really sipping it. I'm just I'm getting the flavor kind of thing. But
It's getting into character. Love it. Dave, the
Alcohol.
method role player.
Alcohol goes through the mucous membranes in your mouth just as easy as your stomach.
Don't spoil his fun. Now, where am I here?
what I'm saying is I haven't taken 7 swigs of that because otherwise I'd be like,
Yes. There's some
7
angry
full
phone call, not angry, some sad phone calls to exes later today. Susan! Susan! All right, let's see. Alrighty. So, guys, do I have everything I need here? I do. Excellent. Let's go to the map. Okay, so where our scene shifts to now, from that map, vast shadow, is to a beautiful blue and cloud-filled sky. Let me shift our music here as well, too. I think this is what I want. Let's see. Oh, heck yeah. Here we go. So, the cloud, if we see the big white puffy clouds, and we hear this kind of like the sound of something roaring and zooming along. And what we see bursting through the clouds and making its way along is the Lazy Lady. The camera sort of goes alongside, and there is one unusual thing here. We see the people on the deck moving around, but what we don't see are the half-elven Lyrandari crew that we would expect in the blue uniforms and such. What's moving their way up and down the deck are a bunch of small green-skinned goblins and a bunch of hobgoblin leaders. These, we would know as canny experts on Eberron, are likely mercenaries from Drome, the goblinoid nation. Very unusual for it to be on a Lyrandari airship. They're making their way along, and many of the goblins have goggles on and carry these bizarre apparatus on their backs, carrying along, which looks like kind of guns that have tubes that run up to the back. And then we hear the camera carries on behind, and we hear the sound of the pterodons. Now the sound of the pterodons, fortunately, is drowned out by the roaring of the fire ring. And we see some of our heroes come riding in. Now, I don't think... Let me quickly give you guys control over everything here. Controlled by...
That's a pretty fantastic map.
Pretty amazing. So the map is actually... It's a artist or artist collective named Zepku. They have a Patreon that they also... They say anyone's free to use this for streaming or for whatever else, but they do have a Patreon as well, too. So it's CZEPEKU on screen right now. If you want to find this map there, you can use it for free, but you can also support the artist who created this amazing thing at Zepku. Yeah, it's fucking super, super cool.
I don't recall that drunk monk mentioning anything about hobgoblin mercenaries.
So, all you guys should have control over your respective pterodons now, too. You can feel free to, select and position your characters where you're coming in on the ship. And we see the three of you flying along. Jeannie's got her goggles on, her little ball cap, our aviator cap on, and is taking the lead, I think. And then Adrian and Vakri, how are you guys handling your pterodons? Pteranodons.
With great precision.
Nice.
I've never done this before, so I'm like, yeah. Thankfully, it's trained beast because this is not part of my normal repertoire.
Yep. And this thing's making its way. You guys have not been spotted yet. Now, I heard you guys say you wanted to come in out of the sun. I think because of the... you can definitely do that. So it would be on... This is going to be probably later in the day then, with the sun on the western side there. Or, I guess western side, the other side. So this would be early in the day. On the eastern side, you guys are going in. And where do you want to have yourselves positioned for when we... the measuring thing won't work on this. You'll have to count the squares, guys. Sorry. Where do you want to position yourselves, the three of you, for when we reveal the bigger transport? That'd be Adrian. Mo's getting something done right now. So, Ginny and Vakri, if you want to position yourselves where you want to be, I will...
You said bigger. So is this one of their guardian ships, or... You said bigger transport?
No,
the guys. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, for the rest of the guys.
Where's
I
the...
think we're going to swoop in and try and get into the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd probably be a good
Careful.
idea.
Okay.
So, see if I can select...
So you guys coming up, you're sort of like in its wake right now. Okay. I'll move Adrian back with you guys as well, too. So you guys are flying in kind of a three-wing formation there.
Guinea's showing off by just steering Sharp Claw with the knees and got her bow just ready to go. Just,
Yeah. Let me show you what's on the deck here. Okay. So as you guys are going up, Ginny, Vakri, and Adrian, now is the plan for you guys to do anything before the bigger transport comes in, or is the plan for the transport to distract them and then you guys to go in?
I think we were going to look for any fighter cover. Whether there are any flying escorts to start with.
Not that you can see.
yeah.
No.
I don't plan on revealing myself until they're distracted.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to let the big guy come in, and then when they start to change, we'll be opportunists.
Okay. So then what you guys hear, you guys are in position, and Ginny, you whisper something to a bird that's sort of on your shoulder, and it flies back. And we see this bird fly through clouds, and then it lands on Yubata's shoulder. It whispers something to you, Yubata, and you turn and nod to the halfling pilot. And the halfling pilot is sitting on, imagine like a like the sort of the thing that the howdah or whatever that you have on the top of an elephant, right? Where it's a big, it's leading this thing along, and it's got the same war paint and whatever, the traditional Talenta things. And it reaches down, pulls up a lever, and then stabs down, and you guys hear a roar. And then the whole howdah kind of shifts, and we can see that it's attached to some large, dark green scales. And then the whole crew of the skyship kind of looks up and like, and what we see is effectively Rodan. We see a pteranodon the size of like Godzilla come out of the clouds, equal to the size of this ship, flying along. And atop this thing on the howdah are the rest of our heroes. Guys, let's roll initiative. So, let me open up the initiative tracker. Everyone click on your token and then click on initiative. Let me see. I'll do that for Mo. Can you hear us, or are you?
Yeah, that was just my evening.
Yeah, no problem. So I just want to know if I need to roll for you or not. Okay.
Initiative where it's hiding.
Okay.
Is the decimal point initiative something new to the Eberron?
No, it's one of the option rules for tie breaking. It's your dexterity score.
Cool.
I actually don't know if that's rules as written or not, but okay. 3. What else are we missing here?
Oh,
I
I've seen
lost
that
my
one.
character sheet. Sorry.
It's okay. Okay, there's Nordak. Address in there. 1, 2, 3. Who am I missing here?
Colin.
Oh, Big Bear. Or Bad Bear.
Big Bad Bear.
Big Bad Bear. Okay. Okay, let's see here.
So,
Ooh, nat 1. Love it. Alrighty, and let me add these guys in. Add a turn. Of course, that will be the one that I... Oh, boy. Alrighty, let's put this in descending. Okay, so first up, guys, we have Vakri.
So,
Vakri, what are you doing?
As we had discussed previously, he's going to wait until the group on deck reacts to the main force coming in. So the big Pteranodon.
Okay.
As they approach the ship, and hopefully the goblins move or cluster or something like that, he's going to try and land on the back.
Okay. So what you... all right, so are you readying an action then?
Yeah, I'm ready to dive in, and I'm actually going to dive bomb the back of the ship as soon as the goblins, cluster move or generally pay attention to the big thing.
All right. So what happens next is next up is the goblins themselves. So the hobgoblin at the back there, this guy right here, he shouts out something in Goblin, and is crying something out. And each of the little goblins who's wearing those backpacks, they turn and they pull kind of a lever of some kind, and then you see little flecks of tendrils of flame leap from the ring down and power up these things. What you can see, each of them carrying. So I got for the very, very small illustration. This is the best one I could find. They're each carrying flamethrowers, and they each have rocket packs as well. So they leap out and begin taking flight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And I don't think they've seen you guys on the other side, so they're just really focused on this side. The hobgoblins are beginning to run down towards where the weapons are, but the goblins are beginning to take flight here. Now, Vakri, you don't need to make a... Or no, Vakri. Nordak, you don't need to make a roll here, but you can see sort of the... Attached to sort of the side of one of these things, there's that add-on that you saw in the schematics, and it's charging away with power and now is active. That's the thing that's powering these guys' things. If you sabotage that, it will not function anymore. And you can sabotage just that without fucking up the whole ring. Speaking of Nordak, what are you doing?
All right, so I'm going to take fire at one of these flying dudes, and I have the sharpshooter thing that I can make impossible shots. And I want to shoot like the backpack off.
Yep. Why don't you click on sharpshooter? Let's see what it does. Yeah, if you click on the little speech bubble, it'll display in chat. Nice. Awesome. Yep. Go ahead and make a shot.
All right. Let me find my dang thing.
Now, are you taking the penalty to get the damage bonus?
I'm just actually trying to shoot the No, I'm not going to take a penalty because I feel like maybe if I hit this and do enough damage, it'll blow up anyway because
Okay,
it's obviously like some kind of booster pack. All right, rifle.
Ooh, a 10 is not good enough, and for sure you can blame the what do you call it, the bucking of this enormous pteranodon. You do have 12 points of astonishing fortune.
I'm going to say, goddamn bastard halfling, circle this thing, and then you can see that next to him, about 15 feet away, is like it just looks like a big cannon on legs, and it kind of shifts a little bit and fires of energy at the thing that's controlling these other dudes, helping them on this. I don't really have a roll for that, I don't think.
Yeah, go ahead and roll d20.
All right.
Yeah, you'll have to see how, I can't remember how the rolls work for it.
15 looks good.
Okay, so that's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
So was that a astonishing fortune?
No, I fired a bonus action. Like I have a cannon that's set up on the hoodal that blasted energy at this other thing.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you remember how much damage it does? I don't.
It does 2d8.
Nice. Go ahead and roll damage.
Nice.
Okay.
13 points of force energy blast into it.
So it hits that thing, and there's some flame that's licking out of this thing. Ginny, you're up next, and you guys can feel free to, any one of you who's on the bigger thing, if you want to get it closer to the thing to get yourselves off, you can do that. There's also ropes. Halfling sky pirates routinely use ropes to swing down onto this thing as well, so go nuts. Ginny, what are you doing?
Let's see. Well, they've got their attention, so I'm just gonna hit this guy with an arrow.
Go ahead.
There's short bow.
Okay. Nice. It's a hit. And it's enough to drop. Oh, and the guy drops down dead.
And then we're going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Going to fly over this direction.
Okay. You wing over there. Adrian, what are you doing?
I got one.
Sorry, what's the move on these?
60.
Not quite enough to do what I want to do.
What are you thinking?
No, that's okay. You see Adrian do, and the wing tips over, and it starts to zoom down. Oh, no, wrong one.
Okay. Yeah, Valkyrie, you go ahead and move yourself over there, and if you want to jump off your mount, go right ahead.
Are these 10 foot or 5 foot squares?
5 foot. Okay. Rock!
Oh, stop it. So that's 10, 20. See, he's somewhat higher up, so he's above the ring.
Okay.
And he's going to fire down at that. I'll ping him. Snap to center.
Yep, go ahead.
So I assume he's actually at about 120 feet, so he's at sort of, well, about 100 feet, so he's going to do him with a...
Yep, absolutely. So we're not going to really be applying... I'm not going to be too finicky about movement and distance and whatnot. Eberron's a pretty pulpy cinematic setting, so if you guys want to bend the rules a little bit on your movements and stuff like that, I'm not super fussed. That is a big hit. Oh, but terrible damage. Jeez. So you...
Yeah, just sort of shoves him a little bit.
Yeah, what does it look like? What does your Eldritch Blast look like?
I'm a celestial, so I'd imagine it would be something light coloured.
Okay.
Maybe sort of a sort of sunny colour with maybe a little sort of purple hint.
Okay, so you tag this, and he staggers forward, looks back, and he sees you, flying, partially covered by the ring. Bad Bear, what are you doing?
I am going to shift into my Earth sign self.
Nice.
So he just becomes a bit hairier, and
yeah.
Maybe chest blows out a little bit, and maybe hands become a bit more bear-like hands and whatever. And the eyes maybe sort of transform a little bit. And I'm looking to Ubada, so I'm going to prepare my action to follow a barda, secretly hoping that we're going to rappel down onto the deck.
Okay. Yubata and you have talked about this before, I imagine. What were you guys thinking? You're going to have the Rodan going to swoop over the deck and then jump down onto it, or
Run down its wings.
yeah, you could do that too, totally, and then be flung up and then land down.
I was thinking about the rope thing, you know, like
Pirates.
Yeah.
yeah, the ropes drop down and then you do the rappelling thing down the ropes and land onto the deck, like sort of special forces kind of.
Yeah. Is that what you're thinking, Yubata, or?
Well, I was actually wondering. So different drawings have different perspectives. Some pterosaurs have kind of long tails trailing behind them.
Yep.
They've set up Bear like on the end of the tail to get flung by the momentum onto
Yes!
the deck of the airship as we do a flyby.
Bear, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it
That
flies
sounds
by,
cool.
flicks you to the side. Give me an acrobatics check, please.
Yep.
Let's see if you are prone or if you're up. Oh, yeah! This may be the first time to the Pteranodon rodeo, but you are a champ. Place yourself wherever you want on the ship, and then go ahead and take a standard action. And then Yubata, what's your plan for getting on here? Or are you staying up on the Rodan?
I'm gonna stay up for this turn.
Okay.
Specifically. I'm gonna see if we can't draw off some of these flying guys, because that's a little bit beyond what we expected.
Yep.
I think just go for this nearest guy.
Okay.
Whoa, what? Okay. Where's this thing that Nordak might be attempting to
Right
sabotage
over
at
here,
some point?
right next to basically, like right near where one of the big the goblins are. Yeah, right there.
So
So
pretty
who,
near.
who actually
pretty
was
near.
carrying the demo charges?
Nordak is, unless he gave them to someone else.
Okay. Oh, we need to cover Nordak so we can get to it. Okay.
Okay, and I will smash this guy out.
Okay.
As I land on the deck, I whip out these two long swords from the inevitable sheaves that will be on my back, I guess.
Yep.
So one-handed twice.
Ooh.
Boom.
Holy shit.
And another one. Doosh.
Oh my god. Yeah, so in 2 clean motions you take down this this guard. What's that look like?
Okay. Just go like you say. Big beaming bearish grin and a roar. Let the
Nice.
games begin.
Okay. Yubata, what are you doing?
So Yubata's gonna say, draw off the flyers, and kind of we're gonna turn around, stay close enough that I can start hurling some javelins, because I got the halflings to give me a basket full of javelins so that I could
Love it.
throw it on the deck, and I'm gonna just try to pop one of these flyers. And
Yeah, go ahead. There's probably like on the side of the howdah, there's probably baskets with them in it, so you can grab and.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, that is a hit. 6 damage. Let's see here. Not enough to take one down, but definitely hits the thing, and he has to sort of. I'm going to impose disadvantage on his next attack because it's sort of thrown off as this rocket pack is trying to keep it aloft, throws it off balance. All right. So then, guys, we're at the top of the round again. Vakri, you were on the deck now. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't have an explosive charge, and I'm not sure I really know or understand how to disable that device, so I'm just going to run across the deck
Okay.
and smack the closest guy. So these guys are flying, or
Those guys are flying. Yeah, they're at least 30 feet up. But the back, the forecastle here, I think, is probably about 30 feet up. So if you want to leap and do an attack against the air and then land on the ground, you could do that.
I think I'm going to head forward and try and take out one of the Hobgoblin Master dudes.
Sure, go ahead.
So
There's that one that was tagged by Adrian.
I just rolled my temporary hit points there, Kev.
Oh, nice. Okay. Do you want a blue bar to keep track of that stuff?
I'll put them on the sheet there, so
Oh, great.
I don't know
Awesome.
if that's generated anything.
Okay.
So
I
I'm
was-
gonna
Go ahead, Dave.
I'll burn a Kai point.
Yep.
To dash, and that will allow me to still jump off of here and attack this dude.
Yep. And if are you flurry of blowing or?
No,
I think-
I'll just jump off with a kick, and because I'm using an unarmed strike, I get as a bonus action. I can also hit him a second time.
Please do. Go ahead. Whack! Whack! So you hit this guy on the side. He kind of turns towards you. A kick hits him square in the chest, and then wahoo! Over the side. Okay.
Bingo card.
Yeah, that was for you, Hobbs.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, then it is the goblins. Okay, so a bunch of them are roaring towards Rodan, and perhaps unsurprisingly, these flamethrowers are flamethrowers, and there's a gout of flame that hits the side of this thing, and while it doesn't hurt it, it definitely irritates it, and it roars to the side. I need a dex save from Nordak and Yubata, please. Oh no! Yubata!
Okay. Time to spend some astonishing fortune.
Yep.
Yep. So spin to
So it's,
reroll.
yeah, saying it's 2 to
Two to
reroll
reroll.
or 1 to get advantage on the roll before you roll it.
Yeah. So I'll spend.
2 to
I'll spend
reroll.
3 to get advantage on my reroll because I don't have any dexterity.
Okay, here we go.
Hey.
Nice. Yep. Awesome.
So
Okay,
how much
so-
do we spend?
The 3 spent.
We are at
So
9
far.
out of 12.
Okay.
All right, so the whole thing lurches to the side, and Nordak and Yubata, what do we see as you guys grab onto the howdah?
Well, he almost drops his rifle. Ooh, grabs it again. Ooh, God damn it! Keep this fucking thing steady.
All right, Bad Bear, above you, one of these scorch guards turns and kind of brings it down towards you. And let's see here. I need a deck save from you, please. As he bathes the deck in flame.
Not good.
Uh-oh. Okay, you take, let's see here. 6 points of damage as the flames envelop you. I need one more deck save from that second one.
Okay. I'm
Doggy
going to
doggy.
take this off my temporary hit points.
Yep, yep. Okay, and that one is only half damage here, so you take 5 from that second one. Valkyrie, I need 2 deck saves from you, please.
Bang.
And
So
they're going to
that
have to
was 11.
move fully to get over towards you, Adrian. They're not going to be able to make an attack.
Oh, bad for them.
Oof. Oh yeah, Jeannie, you're up there too. Hold on, do I have ones to spare? No, I do not. Okay.
Well, in honest fairness, you have one.
No, I think they both were going for Adrian was the one they saw first because the Eldritch Blast would be more obvious than the arrow, and you hit a guy at the back of the ship as opposed to the front, so there's not a direct bright line leading back towards you the way there is with Adrian. Okay, so then Valkyrie, you take 5 points of damage from the first one, and you take 9 from the second one.
15 doesn't save.
15 does save. That was the half damage.
Okay.
Sorry, I did that backwards. But yeah, okay, so mark them. They've used their thing. All these guys have used their thing. All right, guys. Then I have 2 hobgoblins left. I think they're going to run over. One of them is going to... I think they're going to wait until the flames go out. So they're going to ready actions to attack if you get into them. Then, Nordak, what are you doing?
All right. Nordak is going to fire again. He doesn't have to reload his weapon. It magically appears inside.
Yeah.
And it's a +1 because I don't think that's in there. So that would be pretty
Okay,
good.
so which of the guys did you shoot?
I'm going to shoot this one.
Okay. He, yeah, I'm just going to put X's through them because I can't remember which one is my initiative, and invariably if I erase one, it's going to be the one that's my initiative. So when you hit it, it does exactly as you expected. It just explodes into a ball of fire.
That's what I expected.
Nice.
And you see another force blast whoosh, out of the cannon.
Okay.
Money.
Nice. Come on. Oh no!
Natural one.
Oh no! Okay. So I think it jams. You can spend 2 points of Astonishing Fortune to re-roll that if you like.
Nah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So it'll just take you a bonus action to clear it.
Okay.
Okay, Ginny, what are you doing?
Ginny looks like our Torty elf is getting attacked. So he's like, Sharpclaw, fly by, and she's gonna basically whip out her sword in one hand, bore in the other one, and just ride along. And we're gonna clip one of these goblins as we pass by them.
Awesome. Okay. Go ahead, make your.
So here, and then I'm gonna try to hit him.
Please
I get
do.
advantage because he's smaller than me and I'm mounted. So
Yep. Nice. 15 is a hit. No, 15 is a miss.
15 is a miss.
So close.
Okay, well we're gonna keep flying because flyby.
Okay. You could have spent 2 points of Astonishing Fortune to re-roll if you like.
What do you guys think? Should I do it?
I've got an idea. I'll try. So
It's got to be a big fight later.
Okay.
Okay. Then it is Adrian's turn. What are you doing, Adrian?
you see Adran's dinosaur do a sort of a bunt to burn off some speed, and then you see him cast something. And
Yep.
I'm going to cast Fear at 2nd level,
Nice.
which will hit both of them.
So
they're
go ahead and
within 30
click
feet.
on Fear. If you just click on your spell, it should
Called
display.
Fear. Hang on.
So go to the Spells tab.
Yeah, I'm clicking on it, and it's not coming up in the
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Oh, there's a pop-up that's asking what level to cast it at.
Oh, sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
moving, yes.
Okay, it's in chat now. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I need a will. Oh, so you can target 2 creatures. That's awesome. Okay, and I gotta get 2 wisdom saves.
Yeah.
Bob, just so you know, the nat 1 cuts both ways. So one of them, they're both frightened, and on their turn they're gonna flee. However, I'll just tell you what happens to one of them initially, because it kind of, it starts, like, triggers the jetpack, and it goes right back, and it goes right into the fire ring, and then explodes, and those flames are caught up and pulled back into the fire ring.
Okay, you see Adran do the sort of victory salute.
Yeah.
In fact, he'll actually barrel roll Liam.
Nice. Excellent.
So effectively he did a bunt to like almost sort of hover in place, so you can
Yeah.
see it backing as he
Awesome.
just cast the spell.
Bad Bear, you're up next. What are you doing?
He just sort of says to himself, mutters under his breath, "You won't like me when I'm angry," and starts to rage. He goes into barbarian rage as he rushes through the remnants of the flames burning on the deck and kind of barges straight into this hobgoblin or this guard
Yep.
in front of him.
Love it.
Bah, boom. And he's got resistance against all sorts of damage except psychic damage now because of his bear totem and
Fantastic.
the rage. Yeah, so only psychic damage.
Okay.
When you say psychic, it sounds like sidekick. Sounds like only the minions can hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch
I
out
only
for
take
Robin.
sidekick damage.
All right. Go ahead and make an attack.
Okay. So cut these fools down.
Nice. Oh, yeah. So once again,
That,
too, sweeping
19.
past. First one cuts through and batters its defenses. The second one cuts its throat. It drops its thing. It's kind of like and falls down dead.
I just pitch him over the side quickly.
Yeah, throw him off again. Whoa, another body lost to the deeps. Yubata, what are you doing?
All right, so I'm gonna say, Nordak, keep this thing steady, and I hop out of the howdah onto the wing on a downbeat and sort of slide down it towards the top of the the deck of the ship.
Yep. Give us an acrobatics check.
Okay, I am going to spend an astonishing fortune here to roll with advantage because my acrobatics. Whoa!
You avoided the nat one though. Watch me bonk on the side of the ship.
Yep.
No, okay, so you land. All it means is you're prone right now. And anything else you want to do? You could still take a standard action.
So I can turn my standard action into a move to just stand up, right?
Yep. Did you intend on wild shaping?
No. I'm doing that next turn.
Awesome. Okay, so you were up now. And one of the goblins hovering above kind of looks down at you like, ah!
I think standing takes part of your move action, not your standard action.
Yeah, it takes half of
your move action.
Half your move action.
Yeah.
But his move action was to slide down the...
Oh, yeah. So he doesn't have any move action left.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Nice try, rules lawyer.
Nice, helping his teammate out. Vakri, you're up next. What are you doing? These, instantly, for the goblins to affect you, they're about 20 feet up.
20 feet up?
Yeah.
How high is this deck here? The purple area?
That is probably about same height as the forecastle, so it's got to be about 20 or 30 feet.
Okay, then I will scamper up that because I'm an athlete and climbing doesn't cost me extra movement.
Okay.
And then jump off of that and do a flurry of blows on the guy who's in front of me.
I love it. Yep, go ahead and make your attack roll.
Because that's what a monk does. And so here's the first attack.
Okay. First one is a miss, unfortunately. Second one hits, though. Third.
Great.
Do you have 3 attacks?
So flurry of blows allows you to hit twice
a second
instead
time.
of once as a bonus action. So
yep. So what does it look like as you kill this guy? I'm going to roll. Now, on a 1, he explodes, which means you might take damage. Let's see here. Oh, I rolled a 3. So you hit this guy, and he slides back a bit.
So it's like a Jackie Chan movie. You see like Vakri like scamper up the side of the thing, jumps off the platform, hits the guy with a kick, and then hits him with the other leg as he's spinning, which kills him. And then he lands, and because he's a drunken master, he's got this strange ability to like disengage after he fights. So he scampers back to about here afterwards. Kind of this weird,
you pogo off of him and land.
Dancing moves.
Amazing. All right. Next up is the goblins. Okay, so I have one. Ubada, I need a dex save from you, please.
So
So
not so good.
Oh, actually, the save's actually not that high, but it's a little higher than that. So you do take 7 points of damage as this thing bathes you in flame. The others, let's see here. So the ones that are aloft first, these things don't act each turn. So they're kind of like and coughing and trying to get him started again. When I was reading about these things, honestly, I was thinking of the Running Man, where Fireball's trying to like get his flamethrower working again. That's a very, very deep cut for really only old guys. So
I can't remember it. I know the film, but I can't remember that bit.
Yeah, I remember seeing it after a couple of pints in a big 70mm cinema, and I think people were getting into it.
I've watched that film so many times. All right, so 2 of the ones that are underneath Rodan, they activate again, and then bathe the bottom. Nordak, I need another dex save from you, please.
Oh, I'm on spells. My bad.
Okay.
Let me get over here to this.
Oh, well.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh.
So do you want to spend 2 points of Astonishing Fortune to reroll that?
No, I don't need to.
Okay. You are currently sliding down the wing, getting ready to fall off of Rodan. Whoa. All right. And then I've got, let's see here, the one over Bad Bear does not recharge. The one that was near Vakri, nope. And the one that is fleeing, that one is just and flying way the hell. And you know what, Adrian? I think that he's flying in the opposite direction. So it's going to be with the speed of the ship and the speed you guys are going. Effectively, he's out of the fight now. He's also, it's going to be a bad time for him when he gets out of range and that thing stops functioning. Okay. Then it is, I think that's all of them. None of the other ones can activate. Oh, I got a hobgoblin who runs over to Bad Bear. Bad Bear. 18. So that's a hit. Slashes you with a long sword. You take 4 points of damage.
Have you halved that already, Kev? Or am I halving it?
No, I did not have it. So 2 points for you in total.
Okay.
Right, resistance is so much easier to calculate in 5e. All right, so that is then Nordak. So we, with them all having their actions, Nordak, we catch you kind of gun in hand, thrown over the howdah, shit, sliding down. What are you doing?
He shoves his rifle into his bag of holding, which is just like inside his vest jacket.
Yep.
And whips out his rope of climbing as he falls, and orders it to catch on to the thing on the ship that he was trying to destroy. As he catches it and slides down, and then clambers up to be on top of the thing.
On top of, sorry, the howdah or the ship?
The ship. On
Awesome.
top of the unit that powers the goblin things.
Fantastic. So you go flying down and then hits the side of the thing and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Boom. And you are back up. Okay. On the deck. Ginny, what are you doing?
Ginny just watches Valkyrie just like kick a guy and bounce off and runs off. He's like, she points at him with her short sword. She's like, "You bloody show off! I'll show you!" And she kicks, not kicks, but tells Sharpclaw to do another flyby.
Kicks up.
And as we get down here, she drops her short bow in one hand and whips out her other short sword.
Yep.
And as we fly by, she's going to stab the guy twice.
Go ahead.
I got
Oh, jeez.
and advantage on both of those. So.
Amazing. Okay. Now, we have
End up
got to
down
roll.
here.
See, yeah, if the thing detonates. Hold on, because you died.
Careful, they
I
go
rolled a
off.
3 again. God, it's so
Nice.
close to having so much fun. So once again, you stab him, and he sort of slumps over, and the jetpack just sort of like loses control, and he goes away.
That's where her bow is.
All right, Adrian, what are you doing?
So, which ones are still up and attacking the larger creature?
It's these 4 over here, but now that you guys are all off of Rodan, it's going to turn and arc away so that it's not getting attacked any longer.
Okay, so Arlen's going to effectively dive under the ship
Okay.
and come up. So effectively he's going to end up about, on the wing.
You can select both of them at once.
Yeah. So you see him sort of dive under the ship,
Yep.
come up behind those, and Eldritch Blast to the nearest one.
Go right ahead. Yep, that's a hit. Okay, another one. Let's see. Okay, you hit this one, and it hits, and then it sort of like losing control and spins out of control. Another one down. Bad Bear, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just gonna grin enthusiastically at this hobgoblin.
So he hits you, and
Spin.
you just turn around at him. He's like, oh.
Just a bit of a flourish with the swords, a bit of showmanship to entertain the imaginary crowd, and then just attempt to cut him down.
Here we go. Yes, hit.
7 damage and
Yeah.
10.
And again.
17.
Another one over the side. Okay. Yubata, what are you doing?
All right, so I think I'm going for it. The device thing. It's right here, right?
Yep.
So I'm just gonna run up and try to whack it with my quarterstaff. And
Okay, go ahead.
Nordak's been focus firing on that.
Okay.
That seems like the thing to do. So quarterstaff, 2-handed. Ooh, not so good.
No, you feel the length of it. I mean, it's not as bad for you as it is for, like, say, if I did it, because you are giant and big and tough. But yeah, it does nothing. Nordak, you can see, you're getting up, you see this complicated piece of machinery next to you, and your orc companion runs up and smashes it with a stick.
Fucking orcs.
You're not making my job easier. Valkyrie, your turn. What are you doing?
Is this like stairs down or something?
Yes, it is.
Looks like we got the fight in hand. Time to get the prize.
Okay, so you'll have to do sort of a flourish to get through, because you're on top of this thing. To get inside and down the stairs, you have to do a flourish of either smashing down or whatever. It doesn't cost you any action. It's just what you'd be doing as part of your move.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay.
Nope, no flourishes here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm all flourish. That's my game.
So are you spending your full move to get all the way down?
Yep.
Okay, so you sort of come running down, and as you come running into the hold, you can see that the hold is completely empty. You've never seen anything like this before, too, except for one enormous stone cylinder. And standing next to the cylinder is the Lyrindar captain. Half-elf, black hair, dressed in the blue robes of what they typically wear. And he looks at you and says something in a language that no one else understands, but that you understand, and in your mind. I see you, Vakri. And it hits something on the side, and then brilliant green and yellow lights flare out from runes all across this cylinder, and it begins slowly turning. We turn to our enemies again. Let's see here. I think that the Rodan, knowing now that you guys are all off of this, just does one solid swoop down, and you hear dull explosions as those other two goblins are completely taken out of the picture. Oh, 3 are taken out of the picture. The one above you, Bad Bear, can he get this thing working again? He can. Once again, you are bathed in flame. Give me a dex save, please. 10 points of damage as this fire washes over you. And then the other one that's near you guys, let's see here, Nordak and Yubata. He can't get it to work, but he's looking down at you guys like it's hovering over. And he's hitting the end of it, and it's just kind of sputtering a flame out. It's not quite going off. Nordak, what are you doing?
Can you fucking deal with that? He's gonna kick off the panel that makes this thing run.
Yep.
And like pull some wires out or something.
Yeah, give me, and I think you should be able to make a roll with your engineering kit, and you can use your intelligence with that.
All right, let's see how we do that. Engineering kit.
It's called engineering kit. There's some
Tinker
kit. Yep, please.
Query.
It'll be ask you what do you want to use? Use that.
Yeah,
Holy shit! All right, so that's good enough to. What do you want to do? Do you want to shut it down, or do you want to overload it?
I'll shut it down. We don't want to destroy the ship.
Okay.
So
Well, this is
down.
only the shunt. It's only controlling the shunt. It won't control the ship in general.
Oh, well, I didn't want it to blow up the ship or anything. So.
Yeah. Okay, so you just look over and what happens is every one of those goblins that have the thing flying, they sort of, it cuts out, and the flames whip out, and then I need you guys, give me a roll of 2d6. Let's see here. Bad Bear, give me a roll 2d6, and Yubata, give me a roll 2d6. Let's see how much damage these suckers take when they fall. Oof. Yeah, so turns out that that shit's a lot heavier when there's no power to it, so it lands, they drop 30 feet, and they have this heavy brass apparatus on top of them as they fall. I think, is that it? Can I safely start deleting goblins now? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Boof. Boof. They are down. But then Nordak, as you're like, you see and the ring kind of flickers. What the fuck? Something's happening that should not be happening. The ring is beginning to lose power, and the ship kind of begins losing altitude.
So
Ginny.
Nordak was grinning, his fiery beard off to one side, looks over at him, at Bubata. Scratch that, don't have to. Oh, shit.
Ginny, what are you doing?
What? There's no enemies left for her to attack, so she's gonna swoop down to the floor and grab her bow, hop off Silverclaw. And where the hell did the monk go?
Okay.
Get below.
Mr. Fearless Leader to you.
A drunk monk.
Adrian, what are you doing?
Well, he's going to stay on the thing there and say, oh, sorry about that. Oh, Control Z doesn't work.
There you go. Tell us what you're doing, Mo, and I'll move the token for you. Are you getting off your mount?
No, he's going to effectively fly to there and say, turn it back on, maybe.
He blames Nordak right away. What are you doing? Turn it back on. Bad Bear, you can feel your stomach kind of lurch as the deck, gives way just an inch or two. What are you doing?
I'll do that Star Trek thing where, and then go. I'll dash on down as far as I can go towards the rear of the ship.
Yep, I think you can get yourself. You can bash through the door, and you can find yourself down to the hold. And what you see on the second entrance to it, you're at one end. Valkyrie's at the other. Valkyrie's got a look of sober surprise on his face, and you can see that exactly as described. There's this 20-foot long black stone cylinder that has lights flaring out of it from giant runes in a language you don't understand, and segments of it are beginning to rotate around.
And I might not be that bright, but that don't bode well.
No. Also, that's the Xen'driki Falcon? How's that worth so much money? Yubata, your stomach kind of goes out as well too, but I think you have a better idea of what to expect here. What are you doing?
So I'm gonna tap a heal on myself.
Okay.
For 5 back.
Okay.
And then I am going to do my best attempt to follow Bad Bear down as far as I can get.
Sure. So the two of you guys are down. You're a little bit behind Bad Bear right now. You can maybe hear whatever Valkyrie's response is going to be next. So Valkyrie, what do you do? So I can tell you one thing. You know the language that you've heard?
Yeah.
Is that of the Dreaming Dark?
It's Dreaming Dark?
Not the it itself, but like agents, the quarry. The agents of the Dreaming Dark.
Okay. Valkyrie, can he speak that language?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well then he says back, the Dreaming Dark will never have the artifact.
Okay.
Your day ends now. And he rushes forward.
Okay. Bear, what's this Dreaming Dark he's talking about? I thought we were here for money.
Dreaming Dark.
Okay. Go ahead and
rage coming on.
So be a move to get to the guy, and then you can go ahead and make your attacks as well too.
I'll make a flurry of blows.
Yep. Please do.
Oh, I will.
Okay. Yeah, incredible. So tell me how this guy dies. He puts up no defense whatsoever.
So, it's clearly, doesn't think that Valkyrie can move quite that fast, but, Valkyrie's been waiting for this moment since we started planning this trip, and he rushes forward and gives the guy a punch to the chest, and then spins him around with a swinging kick, and then comes back around with another shot as he's starting to fall.
Okay. Fwach! You can hear the snap of his neck, and he falls down lifeless. This ship has no captain. Now, Bad Bear, you we can drop out of combat right now because you guys are dealing with the some more pressing problems here. So, whoop.
So is the ship continuously descending?
Yeah, the thing. What's happening is as the lights are beginning to move, Adrian and Ginny are still in flight, and this thing is beginning to activate now. Yubata and Vakri, why don't you give me Arcana checks, please?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Let's spend an astonishing fortune to get advantage on this Arcana check.
Sure.
Yeah,
Come
can I do
on,
something?
Arlen. Jesus, that's like 10 of them just for you.
I'm gonna use all of them before
What
we're
the
out
hey?
of pods.
Okay, so both of you guys can tell. Here's a bit of information your characters do not. Oh, Vakri 19. That's not bad. So, Yubata and Vakri, you can see this thing. Here's what you know. First off, the giant civilization, it killed itself. And it killed itself in defense against the Dreaming Dark. The threat that this thing represents is is part of the reason the most powerful civilization on Eberron was annihilated. This artifact will open the door to Dalcor, one of the planes where the Dreaming Dark lives. If that door opens again, then civilization as you know it will end. And it's beginning to shift back and forth. Yubata, this is not the type of thing that you as a gatekeeper have stood against, but you recognize, extinction level threats, and why you've been traveling with Vakri. Bad Bear, what are you making of this? Like this, none of this, all you see is this thing activating and there's no loot. Oh, I think you muted yourself.
He's so mad he's muted.
Yeah.
He's a little bit perplexed, but he's relieved that you've mentioned this portal on day 30 of RPG a day month. Now I don't.
Nice.
Now I can pass this off as my activity
Your
for the day.
participation. Excellent.
But he's looking at it. He's looking at the monk. Smells a rat. It's been stitched up here.
Okay.
And he's heading towards it.
Adrian, you have known that this has been the goal the entire time along, too.
Okay, so we know how to shut this down, or are we just gonna dive the ship in?
Are we all down there now?
No, Nordak, you're struggling to try and keep this thing afloat right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Whatever this thing is, it's interacting with the power that binds this. It's not unusual for you would know this well enough as an artificer. There are different weak spots and kind of planar they're not windows, but it's easy to pass between one plane and the other in Eberron. So it's like interplanar turbulence that you sometimes find if you've got a bound creature from another plane. This thing seems to be a localized problem. So something is happening here that it's interfering with the binding mechanism. If this element of fire elemental gets free, there's a couple problems. One of them is that you may not be able to remain aloft, although that shouldn't be a problem because it is made of drift, like the what do you call it? The metal or the stone metal. The wood that this thing is made of is soar wood, and it will remain aloft. Just means you don't have power. But if it gets free and doesn't just go back to the elemental plane of fire, you may have an angry fire elemental on your hands.
I don't have anyone to complain to. Everyone's gone, not around him.
We got Adrian and we've got Ginny circling above.
Oh, okay.
Ginny and Nordak, I think you guys, as far as you are aware, again, Ginny thought this was money. So, what do we do, guys? This thing is activating. The body is down.
Vakri calls for Nordak. I don't know what the hell you're doing up there, but we could maybe use you down here. 'Cause I don't know how to stop this thing.
So, Nordak, you can hear him shouting from down there. What do you do?
I guess I'll try and put it into the best way possible because I don't think I'm going to be able to stop it. So I'll go down there and see what's going on, I guess.
Okay. What could be more important than this? And you come down and you see this thing moving. You're like, oh.
We need to stop this artifact from engaging, or, well, yeah, the ship's going to crash, or, all right, well, the ship wouldn't crash, but a portal's going to open up, and the Dreaming Dark will probably end all of civilization.
I think if we feed it a fucking drunk monk, we'll be okay.
Yeah, a drunk monk who stitched us up. This was supposed to be a fucking Falcon, not a portal opening device thingy. Chuck it
tell you
over the
what.
side.
Ginny and Adrian can come into this scene as well, too. You guys come scampering down, and Ginny, you look at this thing, and remember, you got no context for what everyone else has seen. All you see is a big glowy thing worth a lot of money. So what do you see?
It's not about to blow up, is it? I got my future set on that.
So, guys, what you then hear in all of your minds is a voice. Again, and this time it is in common. Too late. Too late, Vakri. The Dreaming Dark returns. And you guys hear a horrible, sickening, tearing sound. And something manifests at the other end of the hold. And this, while seeming a thing from nightmares for most of you, Vakri, you recognize it as former kin. And this is what appears, guys.
So is that your mom or dad, Vakri?
Second cousin once removed.
So, let me
That's what they
clear
all
the
say.
initiative tracker, guys. Go ahead and click on your token. I'm going to get rid of things. We're just going to treat the hold as being like the region from the aft of the ship up to where this grating is. You guys will all be down in it.
Oh.
And let me...
Arden was going to try and like open that hatch and then jump down from.
Sure. Yeah. So that's where you've been. That's where you entered into the this scene then.
Yeah.
And this thing is right here. Oh, where is he? Are you loading?
He's big.
Are you loading? Where is he?
He's on there.
Is he? He's not displaying on mine.
Yeah, he almost immediately.
Oh, it's on our layer.
Oh, there he is.
Very
Okay,
big.
perfect. So he's not that big. He is about
Good,
that
because
big.
otherwise it'd be really short.
All right. So let me add this to add a turn for it. Ooh. Okay. Oh, and I get to use my from the Beetle and Grimm box set. Where is he? Where is he? Where are you, buddy? Can't find him. Oop. Sorry, I'm trying to find my monster card here. Okay, has everyone got their initiative in? Here we go. Voila. Whoa. Okay. Let's roll for this thing. Not great. Not great at all. Okay. Point 14. Alrighty, guys. So, Vakri, appropriate, you are up first here. So you know this terrible thing. Here's something just as a background for the rest of you guys. Kalashtar, which is the race that Vakri is, they're actually a fusion of renegade quarry, like these things, that come from a different dimension that have fused with humans in a symbiotic relationship. They are renegades from another plane who fight a war in secret against the invading quarry. And Vakri is apparently one of those agents fighting against the Dreaming Dark. Vakri, this is something eternal. This is something that has been around. You may even have had experience with this over the aeons, or at least part of your soul would have. What do you do?
Vakri shouts out to the rest. He goes, help me defeat this creature and keep the portal shut. Keep the ship, anything you want. But this matters more than anything at the moment. And he charges forward.
Awesome.
That's what all the people with no fucking money say.
Okay.
Money's no good if you're dead.
Okay. So you race forward, Valkyrie. Go ahead and make your attack roll. Oh, big hit. Second one misses. Third one hits as well.
And then Valkyrie will disengage in a drunken, dancing, weird.
All right. Now, this thing is a boss monster. So, I get some legendary actions here. First, I think it turns to Bad Bear. No, it doesn't. It turns to Ubada. And its many eyes are changing color in a scintillating kind of way. Would you give me a wisdom save with advantage?
Might want to spend some fortune.
Not great.
Do you want to spend Astonishing Fortune to re-roll that?
Seems like rerolling that might be good.
Okay.
Arlen is chewing it
Nice.
up today.
Okay. So you can. What is this thing? This thing seems to be trying to somehow seed and infect your mind. So you shake this thing off, and then Ubada, you're up next. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn into a dinosaur and try to eat this thing.
Hell yes. Let me drop the token for you. I put in the wrong map. Let's see here. Where are you? Dinosaur. Dinosaur. Here we go. Dinosaur. Boom. So let's put you to the side. That way you should be able to track the hit points on that. So I can't remember what is Wild Shape. Is that a bonus action, standard action?
It's a bonus action for me because I have the combat thing.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we see as she transforms into this fearsome raptor?
So she sort of leaps forward and in the leap transforms into this huge raptor that is charging in at this big bad nasty thing.
Yep.
And I can move 40 feet, so I think I can get there because I counted
Absolutely.
out before I
Yep.
transformed.
Yep.
And then I get 1 bite and 2 claws.
Mm-hmm.
So bite, not great.
Okay.
First claw, not so great, but maybe.
Nope.
Nope.
Second.
All right, second claw.
That one
That's-
connects. Oh, nice. Yeah.
All right, and now because I hit it with one of my claws and I moved at least 20 feet straight toward it, it has to make a DC 12 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Ooh, okay. Let's see, DC 12 strength. I rolled 17 modified to 20. So which isn't for how big this thing is. It doesn't... You do knock it back a little bit. And awesome. Ginny, what are you doing?
Ginny's like, what the hell is going on? About to run in, and she's like, girl power, and just sprints over to get behind it
Okay.
and tries to stab it with the 2 short swords.
Okay, go ahead. I'll give you advantage on that.
And there.
No, second one hits, though. Nice.
Chink!
All
I
right.
got
So
you, Bada!
now it's going to use one of its legendary actions. And it's going to try and get the dinosaur with one of its big claws. So, Dino, 10, I guess, does not hit your AC.
10 does not hit my AC.
Okay, swings at you. Nordak, you're up next.
All right. So Nordak grumbles forward, and he takes you see him pull out a disc and frisbees it underneath it, and it
Okay.
kind of goes dee 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 dee, and then right when it gets there, it's the blast disc.
Okay, so it's a Dex 13, I said. Save. He makes a save, but roll 2d10. He takes half damage from it.
Hey, watch those explosives, damn it.
Holy shit! Nice. Yeah, blows out the bottom of the hole. Oh my god, there's a hole in the ship now. dear Liza.
Well, I thought it only went one direction, so like I was thinking.
Oh no,
it would go
that's
up.
fine. Yep, you're right. Okay, so then it's 8 points of damage then. Oh, wrong thing. Okay. There we go. All right, it's going to spend another legendary action, and it turns to Vakri. Vakri, I need you to give me a wisdom save, please.
How many astonishing fortune do we have left?
We have 4.
It's 1 to roll with advantage.
Yep.
Okay, I'm doing it.
Okay. Nice. So what it looks at you, and what it doesn't communicate in words, it communicates in images. And what it shows you is the hundreds of Kalashtar that it has killed over the centuries. Those of you who have tried to rebel against the Dreaming Dark, there is no hope. There is no chance of success. But you succeed. So what do we see Vakri do? He could communicate back to it because there is a telepathic link right now.
Yeah. Simple. Your time is over.
Okay. Now it's its turn. First thing is one of those massive pincers at the dinosaur again. That's a 16 versus AC.
That hits.
Okay. You take 91 damage. No, I'm kidding.
That's a lot.
91. It's only 9 maximum.
Yeah.
It's also a 9 minimum.
Oh, hold on.
That's true. It's just 9 damage, I guess.
All right, you take 12 points of damage from one of those claws. The other one tries to grab Ginny. Ginny, a 19 AC.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Ginny takes 17 damage from that. And then its nasty stinger whips out towards, I think, the dino again. That hurt her most. That is a 13 AC.
That is just barely a hit.
Oh, no! All right, so this thing pierces into you. You take 11 points of piercing damage. And as it does, you can feel this thing. Like in the film version, the flourish we'd have is we would see the stinger affect like your astral form inside there. As it pushes you back. You take 17 psychic damage.
17 psychic damage. Okay,
Yep.
so that turns me back into Ubada.
Yep.
My dinosaur is down, and I take another. Yeah, what is that? Yes, 15.
Okay. So this thing hits you, and then I need a wisdom save from you, please.
A wisdom save.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's just roll it normally.
Okay, here we go. Yes, nice. So once again, this thing tries to it as you're pulled back. The echoing message you get from it is run, 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 run. But Ubada resists that. What do you say?
I say I'm gonna run right at you.
Okay, Bad Bear. You just saw Ubada get. I'm not sure you've ever seen this before in like one solid exchange, thrown out of her primal form. What are you doing?
Well, he's really annoyed. He launches into a rage and comes running across, swords held high and like in a reverse grip as to like come plunging them in to this creature.
Awesome. Okay.
He might even use that other ability there, the reckless attack. I think I am.
Okay.
Do it. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it gives you advantage on melee attack rolls
Okay.
this turn, but attacks against me have advantage.
Okay.
Okay, so it comes in with 2. Oh, there we go. First one,
Okay.
a 19.
19 is a. It's advantage, right? Yeah, it's a hit.
Yeah, so 8 damage, and
Okay.
the next one is a 17. I don't know if that's
17 is a hit as well, too.
Oh, cool. So another 7.
Awesome. Okay, so you tear into this thing. Now, hold on. Are you raging?
Yeah. That was my bonus on the way in. Bonus.
Did it include? Hold on. So you might need to tick off on the damage thing. There's because your rage gives +2 damage. I think it's +2.
It's on there.
Yeah, it's on there.
It says rage 2.
Oh,
and then it says
right,
6, so you add them up 8. You just add them both.
Got it. Okay,
8
got it.
plus
So there should be
7,
4 more damage.
That's
on
why
that.
I was adding them up and calling them out. To you.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I'm sorry.
That's right.
All right. Then, Adrian, what are you doing? Mo?
All right. So
Oh, yeah, I'm
Adrian is pulling the sort of hatch covers off, looking down.
No, you're down in there, Mo. Like we said, you were all in the.
So I jumped out. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see Ginny getting hit badly. He's going to actually use some of his
I've got move.
healing light.
Okay.
So I'm going to use 2 of the pools, 2 of the dice.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. D6s, sorry. In that case, 3 D6s.
Okay. So you come down. You can see, or you've seen that Ginny and Bad Bear and Yubata have all been engaged with this. Ginny's looking pretty hurt too. Go ahead and roll 3d6. Nice. Ginny,
You see you see a sort of like celestial sort of light, golden with a purple thing reach out and heal Ginny.
Awesome.
So
I know
that's a full action, isn't it?
Okay.
Presumably.
All right. Then we're
Yeah,
back to
my turn.
Vakri. What are you doing, Vakri?
Jackie's gonna charge in. And keep moving. And make an unarmed strike.
Go ahead. I'll give you advantage for flanking with Bad Bear.
And then
Big hit.
Another unarmed strike. Bang.
Okay.
That's my bonus action, and he's staying in.
So you go racing in. You kind of pogo off the walls. You roll across Ginny's back. And then, wow, 2 big hits on this thing's side. I'm going to use a legendary action to turn to you and try and hit you with a claw. Vakri. Does a 17 hit you?
Yes, just.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Vakri, you take 13 points of damage.
Ooh.
Yeah. Kalashtar scum! Echoes in all of your minds. Yubata, what are you doing?
All right, I still got another wild shape, so I might as well just, second verse, same as the first.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
turn back into a dinosaur
Yeah.
and try to smack this thing.
Amazing. So you're back
So
up.
you see, you gotta do like a not. Do they call it drop kick when you like jump up and kick sideways and fall
Flying
on the
kick.
ground? Yeah, like that, except transforms into the dinosaur at the time, so the claws. Hopefully they can
Nice.
dig in and
Let's
you
see.
know. Yeah. All right. Claw. No. Claw.
You do have advantage.
Oh.
Hold on. Oh, you got advantage because
Oh.
Ginny's flanking with you.
Oh well then.
Yep.
I think that's 2
19.
yeses.
Okay. Nice.
And bite.
Ooh. So you get your vengeance on this thing. You tear, and then you grab around its throat, and then its little like arms. I don't know if you can see. There's got those like little kind of distended arms. They're grabbing at your claw, trying to stop you from pulling. But you pull back, and the ichor that makes up this thing spews out and covers the deck, and it drops down in a wet thud. Then the whole thing shifts again, and you can see those lights are getting brighter. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna just as a free action. I'm not T-Rex sized, but do T-Rex style stand on the corpse of the creature and roar.
Yeah. A little banner falls behind that says Dreaming Dark.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
So
I'll turn to
We-
the
you-
thing and see if I can figure out a way to turn it off. Or if
Uh,
I just need to
Sure,
put the
give me
rest of the
a
blast disc on it.
Arcana check, please.
Andrin, could you heal Valkyrie? He's at 0.
Oh, right. In that case,
Yep. Okay, so here's some options that you've got. You're looking at this thing. You've got a rough idea. Like, at best, you got a guess of how this thing might pan out. What you could do, you're not sure you can shut it down. You can shunt it elsewhere onto elsewhere on Eberron, and it'll reappear there. You can shunt it so it appears in Dalcor, to the place of the Dreaming Dark, or you can set it to explode.
Wait,
Right away or timed or?
That may be a random chance here.
Oh boy. Does anyone see a reason not to just send it back to Dalcor? Or wherever the
Well,
I know
it's
where
like
that
a-
is.
Powerful artifact.
They could use it to get back.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
from Dalcor originally. It was the invasion from Dalcor. This was part of the effort used to seal the Dreaming Dark in. Remember I mentioned that there's the weak spots in the worlds? There was a hole torn from Dalcor through to Eberron in the Age of the Giants, and it took the destruction of their entire empire to seal it.
Do I have any enemies? I'll say these things out loud, and then I'll be like, "God damn it, Valkyrie! Do we
So
have to blow
Valkyrie,
this thing."
I think someone can. Does anyone have any healing left here?
They healed him.
Yeah, Adrian just.
Oh,
that's
great.
what
Okay,
the
so
role was.
Valkyrie, you're awake, and these are the 3 options. So you can feel free to weigh in on this, as can anyone else.
How much time do we have?
Nordak can kind of set it to supercharge, but he's not sure what the timing is of it.
Because I might be able to get that other pterodon back here if I have time.
Do it.
Nordak, toss me one of those charges. We'll blow it up. We'll throw it out the side and blow it up.
I think the monk should stay here
Well,
and
well,
blow
I
it
can
up
blow
whilst
this
we
gate
fly
up.
off.
I can blow the gate up, Dave.
Right, but if you push it out the ship and it blows up below us,
It's huge
Left.
though.
Yeah, it's a 20-foot long like stone obelisk.
oh, right.
Yeah.
Are we on the bottom of the ship's hull?
Yep.
Yeah, so
Maybe
we
we
don't
blow the
have to
floor
blow
out.
it. We just blow the bottom.
We're not on water, so
Set it, like I was saying, set it to blow up, and then we'll just use those 3 remaining charges to blow a hole in the ship. The ship's not going to sink. We'll repair it later.
yeah. Then the
Alright.
rest of you don't have ways to get off a flying ship without falling.
No,
It's
but
not
if
gonna.
it falls-
It's not gonna.
if-
It's
well,
not gonna
I
crash.
assume we-
But
If
You
I
should
could
call-
get
you
park
can-
our
you should.
pterodons.
Yeah, you should still go get them. I would say.
Okay. So Ginny is running up. Anyone helping Ginny?
No,
About
she
it.
can bring them all back, so we've got a way off.
Yeah,
I
okay.
can help set the
That-
charges.
That spell, so I'll convince it to come back.
Okay. Yep. And you can actually get Rodan back as well too. So it'll come back. So you've got access to that. So what's the plan then? Is it for Nordak to set
Blow it up. Yeah.
blow it up, and then blow the deck up?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this. Let's have Nordak is the one who's going to be the most the best equipped to set the charges to detonate. So Nordak, when you got a hold on, you got a artificer ability as well too.
I got a few. Which ones?
It's the one that allows you to kludge together something.
Oh, okay. The magical tinkering.
Yeah.
No, that's not it.
You touch a tiny non-magical object and give it
Yeah,
one of the
that is
following
it.
magical properties.
Yeah.
What I'll allow you to do is with that to sort of string them together to effectively, like, imagine creating like a det cord kind of effect instead of having specific things. So you sort of break apart the thing and you set it out in a ring. So this should work.
Should.
The lights, as this is going along, the thing's beginning to spin now, like, and light and sound are coming out of the cylinder. Nordak, you place your stuff. You're pretty sure it's going to work here, Nordak. Now, you do have access to Astonishing Fortune still, so you can get advantage on your Arcana roll. Actually, a Tinkering Tools roll. Let's make your roll.
Yeah, we
Easy
might as
one.
well use it.
Yeah.
Intelligence.
Intelligence, yeah, and you'll have advantage on this roll.
Oh boy, 13.
13. Okay, so it's
We have enough to re-roll it.
you got 2 points of astonishing fortune left to give you a re-roll.
But it wouldn't be advantage anymore, right?
Yep, it would still be with it. Oh no, it wouldn't.
13 isn't going to do it though, is it?
Unless there was some like awesome role playing and something like that's happened recently that was somehow granted an additional point.
What would you guys think? Did anyone want to take a stab at some pretty awesome role playing? Vacri, this obviously. Well, I guess this is a dramatically new set of circumstances. Ginny, they're plunging your. They're going to blow up your riches. Bad Bear, what are you thinking of all this?
I think Bad Bear might attempt to pick up the monk and start shaking him. You got us into this. You get us out of this. Never mind the dwarf.
Fine.
Do you have any key points left, Vacri?
No.
Oh no. Okay. So,
But-
Vacri's.
But if you guys want to go to the top, in case this does blow, I can do a mind link with Nordak, and he can walk me through it.
That sounds to me like Astonishing Fortune. That's pretty awesome. So what do you think, Nordak?
I'm not sure about having your damn drunk ass in my brain. You might get smarter, and I'm not sure I could handle that.
This is, am I correct, Hobbs? This is Nordak's gruff way of saying, I'm not leaving you alone.
Basically.
Okay, so you guys are staying together. Nordak, or Vacri, if anyone is going to be able to have the lightning quick reflexes to get you guys even a chance of surviving this if it blows up in here, it's you sticking behind. So maybe everyone else needs to get the fuck out of here and leave Nordak and Vacri behind, and I'll let you re-roll that with advantage.
All right,
You don't
here
have
we
to
go.
tell Bad Bear twice. He goes stomping off up the stairs. Monks, fucking bastard.
And how does Yubata feel about this?
Oh, Yubata's was enjoying, ripping up the demon monster thing with her claws, but sees which way the direction's going and Russell's like, "Rawr!" comes up top.
Yeah. So the what do you call it? You can see Rodan is going on the side. I think you could leap and then like shift again if you want, or land on it. You might have better grip with this thing in this form. Okay. So you jump over, Big Bear or Bad Bear. You jump over. Adrian gets his back. Ginny gets his back. We cut back to the hold. Vacri and Nordak. You look at each other. This is it, Nordak.
We get out of this.
One more roll with advantage.
Is there enough time to have a quick loot of the captain's cabin?
We see Adrian slipping into the captain's cabin.
Adrian and Ginny are both thinking the same thing. You guys both kind of walk in instead of going to your thing through different entrances, and you both sort of sparrow look at each other like, oh, and then both run over and start looting shit.
Yeah.
Okay?
Get out of here without being paid.
Yeah.
Nordak, if we get out of this alive, we're taking this ship. We're going to turn it into a pirate airship.
Okay.
What makes you think I'm fucking interested in pirating? Let's get this done.
All right, then Nordak, here it comes. Your roll with advantage.
All right, here we go.
Is it Tinker's Tools?
Yay!
22! So, guys, I will cede the narrative to you guys. What do we see as the hold blows out and this thing falls?
Vacri's like super tense. He's like, every fiber of his being is ready to react as this thing blows up, and he's watching Nordak the whole time.
I think you see Ginny and Adrian circling about 100 feet away from the ship, just watching. And when the hole explodes, they're like, it worked.
Okay. With Nordak, because he's an artificer as well, too, it's partly working with tools, but it is actual magic he's working as well, too. So his eyes are flaring and mixing that same color of green and yellow that mixes with this whole spinning thing. As he's operating the thing and getting ready, he's actually speaking in a language that you've never heard, Vacri, too, in the ancient tongues of giants, which is suffused into this ancient artifact. And then with a studied kind of grip, he hits this like pillar, or not grip, a studied move. He hits like a trigger mechanism at his foot that sends it over and around the underneath the artifact, it drops. Nordak kind of cries out one last time, and as the energy seems to pour from his eyes, finally releasing him from that object. It falls down, and then in a kind of a, like, it compresses. And there's this huge explosion of green and yellow energy that the whole ship, as if cresting some mighty wave and then crashing back down again. Vakri, it's only through your careful reflexes. You grab Nordak out of the air, fall to the ground, you roll over. All you guys see this happen as well, too. Those of you who are on your dinos kind of, wow, you know, ride the wave of this thing. And Baron, Ubata, even Rodan itself kind of, you know, has to adjust a little bit. But the minder kind of keeps it on. The ring around the, what is it, the Lazy Lady, completely out. And while there is waves that spread out in every direction from the water below, and the clouds themselves are dispersed around this, it stays aloft. So what's our closing scene, guys?
I was going to suggest we swing underneath the ship to where the opening now is.
Yeah.
To, like, you know, holding up hands to get Nordak and Vakri out through the bottom.
Love it, yeah, onto the howdah, okay.
Nordak gets up first, and he's like, if you're going to ask me out, wash your damn teeth first, you drunk. I'll help him up, and then we'll jump on with those guys.
Okay, so you guys are all in the howdah. Adrian and Ginny, their pockets full of stuff are now flying their overburdened pteranodons. And they fly into, and as long as the other ones that you guys were mounted on before, they fly into sequence. And we turn off. And we see our heroes flying back off into the sunset. And as the Xen'driki Falcon comes to an end, what's the last thing we hear, guys?
I need a drink.
Perfect. All
What's
right.
the next damn job?
So, guys, that will bring us to the end of our one-shot. So, guys, well, first off, congratulations for, unfortunately, not doing the job that Ginny thought you were doing. But congratulations on defeating the Dreaming Dark Vakri. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for this special one-shot highlighting the 5th edition Eberron setting, and in particular, the very, very cool stuff that is available in the Gold Edition Eberron Rising from the Last War box set. A reminder, you still have 2 more days to make donations to the Heroes Save Villages charity raffle that benefits SOS Children's Villages International. Again, if you're not familiar, you've probably heard the spiel before, but the SOS Children's Villages International is active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children. It is a really terrific organization. And to date, for the charity raffle so far, we have very, very fortunately raised over $2,000 for the kids who benefit from SOS Children's Villages International. We have easily surpassed our total from last year, so a huge thank you to everyone's generosity who has donated so far. Every $25 Canadian that you donate, which is about 18 bucks American, you get one chance to win. You can win a copy of the Gold Edition Eberron Rising from the Last War box set as featured in this episode, or one of our other amazing prizes, which include 2 copies of Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea, a copy of the Emmy Award-winning The Monsters Know What They're Doing by Keith Anand. There are some amazing OSR zines that our own Jason Hobbs has donated to us. There's an amazing chainmail dice bag that Dave, our resident armorsmith, has put together for us. There's a copy of the hardcover of Low Fantasy Gaming from that is very generously donated by the author of that game, Steve Grodzicki. So thank you so much to him as well for donating that. We also have some rewards from the Dungeon Musings Red Bubble Shop. We have a Skittermander dice bag. So there's a lot of great prizes. But the best thing is that all donations go directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel. None of it goes to any other middleman. It all goes to help the kids. So you get to help some kids who could really use some help. And you get a chance to win some amazing gaming stuff. So And speaking of amazing people, I want to give a huge, huge thank you to my players. I said last week, I think, that, guys, I think I'd like to run Eberron one more time to try and highlight this. And the guys only really got their characters a couple of days ago. And I very easily had the roster full of these very, very awesome players who thanklessly gave up their time to play a one-shot. So, John, Hobbs, Dave, Colin, Mo, and Arlen, thank you so much for playing today, guys. I really appreciate helping me highlight the contents of this and give one last kind of push to try and surpass our fundraising goal even more. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, man. Cheers, Kev.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, great fun.
Thanks
Awesome.
to everyone who donated. We made
Yes.
it.
So with that, guys, we'll bring this to a close. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the episode, or the charity initiative, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. You can also reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings and by email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. If you enjoyed the session, we're here quite often, so you can feel free to click subscribe if you want to see more of what we do. And you can click on the bell icon to be notified when you go live. And if you did enjoy the session, clicking a thumbs up does help us on the magic behind the scenes with YouTube. Last thing I'll say is that if you are joining us live or contemporaneous to the recording, and you are still finding yourself in the current crisis, we do hope that this finds you healthy, safe, and weathering the current crisis as well as can be expected. We hope we gave you a couple of hours of thinking the trouble of our heroes get into to take your minds off the troubles of our world. And until we see you again, happy gaming.